Hello, internet. Whoop. Hey, there's a weird thing going on that was not going on. Oh,
Ooh,
it's because we have a Tanner joining
Tanner's.
us. Hey,
I haven't been called a weird thing in a while.
no, it was just I switched to the no Tanner set, and then you immediately joined as I switched over. So all of a sudden the video like whooped.
Mm,
But it's all
likely story.
it's all gravy now. Now we have everybody here. Hello, everybody. It's nice to see you all.
Yeah.
And
Hello.
and hello to you. I've got it. Hello, NYC Zom. Hello, everyone. It's so good to be back. It's wonderful to see all your smiling faces again. Uh, hello, everyone. Welcome to Nuuli Forged. We are currently a 5e Dungeons and Dragons. I've got it. Thank you for rejoining the party, subscribing at Tier 1 for 22 months. Hype for the whole crew. Woo! Hype! I should put a hype command in. I don't
Is
know if
this
there
how I
is
hype?
one, but
Is this
we're
hyping?
all
Jazz
hyping now.
hands.
Hype, hype, hype,
Jazz
hype,
hands.
hype, hype, hype.
Jazz hands. Fossy. Fossy.
Marsha Graham,
Jazz,
Martha Graham, Martha Graham.
jazz
Oh, hey, there
hands.
is a hype command. Thanks, I've got it. That's fantastic. We are currently playing in a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons homebrew campaign setting. We play in the world of Nuuli, which came out of my brain. And these 5 glorious people are wonderful enough and brave enough to play in for whatever good or ill that means. It's a wild time. We've had a crazy couple of weeks. We know that right now D&D and Wizards is hot on everybody's presses. And I think I speak for everybody here when I say that hashtag open D&D is legit and a thing. And I don't know who penned this horrible new OGL 1.1, but you're wrong.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's very much so. We're not going to
I
get too much
mean,
into it now because there are a lot of smarter people doing that, but it's
corporate
bullshit.
America at its finest.
Yeah, well, it's the new. I think it's all
Every
because of the
penny.
new CEO of WotC coming from Hasbro
Mm.
and thinking that D&D Dungeons and Dragons was undermonetized, and they think this is going to
Right.
work. But I don't think other companies that are using the open gaming license, such as Star Wars, therefore Marvel, therefore Disney, are going to be too big of a fan with WotC just owning all of Star Wars now. So
Right.
I
I
think
mean,
I think there's going to be
it's a
changes.
case of if it ain't broke,
Don't fix it.
don't fix.
Uh,
Yeah, it's
well,
shooting
Cobalt
yourself
already
in the
has a
foot. Because
CEO. It
let's
is
be
broke.
honest, the community over the past 20 years has been what has kept D&D running, and over the past 10 years it grew amazingly, and over the past 5 it's blown up exponentially, and it's because creators have been encouraged with the open gaming license to add and make the game their own and share that in a community. And that's how I got here. That's how some of you got here. It's you know. Anyway, that is our rant for the moment on OGL 1.1. It's bullshit. Anyway, that all being said, we're going to go around for some introductions because it's been a while. Oh, Happy New Year, everyone. It's 2023 now. Update your calendars now. Practice
What
writing 23 instead of 22 because I know
is
I had to
it?
do it. For
I've been writing 22 on medical documents. It's been great.
Yeah, exactly. It's wild times.
I don't
Um,
remember the last thing by hand.
yeah, well, hey, typing's a thing too. Happy
Typing
New
is
Year, I've
writing.
got it. Always good to see you. But yeah, let's go around and introduce ourselves. Those of you watching may notice that I have tweaked our nameplates, so now instead of constantly scrolling, they transition every so often. So, fun little tidbit for those who are watching us. It's not perfect yet, but it's the best I could figure out how to do at this moment in time. But we're getting there. We're working on it. We're moving boldly forward because it's a direction, and that's the one I picked. So, that being said, let's go around and introduce ourselves. Let's start at the top of the stack with Mike. Oh, and please, before you do that, Mike, because I called on you, roll me a d20.
All right, coming up. 8.
Fantastic. Please, Mike, introduce yourself, your character, and please tell us, everybody, what is your character's least favorite physical activity? So dwell on that, let it permeate in your brains. Be as silly as or as not silly as you want to be. So let's take it away, Mike.
Yes, Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Mike. I play Defect, Arcanaton Barbarian. And I definitely have to say Defect's least favorite activity would be any sort of underground fighting, because he never wins those. Any sort of fight club,
like competitive.
Unless it's throwing rocks, that's fine. That's one thing. But on the other end of that spectrum, if fighting other people, no. Life or death is fine. Like out in the field.
Blood must be on the line.
Perfect. Yeah, it's great. I love it. But if it's for a competition, a trophy, it can't do it. Hate it.
Well, fair enough. Moving on down to currently still hopefully playing Grrrig, we got Amber.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Amber. Up until today, I played Grrrig, the Goblin Artificer. Hopefully Grrrig will return, we'll find out. And the easy answer, Grrrig hates swimming. Hate it. Hate it. It's wet. It's hard. It's wet. Breathing is hard. It's wet.
Fantastic. I love it.
It's wet.
Breathing is hard.
Breathing is hard.
It is.
Full stop. And then add water? No.
Right.
Breathing is hard, and then you die. And
Exactly.
that's swimming in a nutshell, right?
Yeah, basically.
Sounds like the other part of
Or something eats you. I mean,
Not if you're
swimming.
dark.
No.
I was gonna say waterboarding, but
Hey, you don't have to be swimming for that. Moving
That's
down
true. That's
next,
fine.
it's true. Next, we have Sarah joining us live from Concert Venue. Thank you, Sarah, for joining us live from Concert Venue.
We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Sarah. I play Olive, the half-orc druid. And I think Olive's least favorite activity is any kind of walking or pushing through a crowd. Olive doesn't do cities. Olive doesn't like it. And she doesn't like crowds of people.
Fair enough. And I sympathize with that.
Me too.
Yeah. Living in
Sarah
New York,
also-
I hate crowds and people, so I chose a good spot.
I was just about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't too fan of them before I moved here, and after living amongst them for some number of years, I definitely don't like them.
Redacted.
Walk through
Her
Times Square at 4:30
Big
today. and
black redacted Sharpie mark over that one.
Mm-hmm.
Next down the stack, we have Tanner.
Hi, I'm Tanner. Playing Nereus the Azamar Sorcerer. And I would say any physical activity, anything to do with strength, as it is my dump stat.
he said dump.
Goes to
So-
everything
All of
physical.
No push-ups for Nereus, not a fan.
No push-ups, no lifting thing. That's why we have Defect. Defect lifts things. He picks them up and puts them down.
Put them down.
And sometimes throws them.
It's a lot.
Yes,
I do.
sometimes.
Fair.
But yeah, strength activities.
Glorious. Fair enough. And next on the stack, back up to the top of the second column, we got Matt.
Hello, I'm Matt. I play Spoot, the Turtle Cleric. And I think Spoot's least favorite physical activity is probably running. Don't really see the need for it, really, when you can walk.
Now that I agree with 100%. If there's not a lion fucking chasing me, I don't want to run.
why walk
I
when
like
you can
to
fly?
chase plastic things.
Fuck.
Like
I walk at a running speed, so
Is this like,
I
have
mean,
you ever
yes,
felt?
as the stereotypes are true, some of us are in the LGBT community, and some of us are indeed fast walkers.
York, so it just gets amplified.
Yeah, it's true.
So I thought
I
that was
almost bowled down 3 old ladies today trying to get home. I was like, whatever.
Oh my goodness.
Like my
It
walk
wasn't
from
my
the
fault.
train.
They stepped
to-
into my direct line of traffic. Like, I did not come up on them. They just, and I was like, whoa.
Listen, lady, I didn't choose this. You did.
You are in my way.
I mean,
So
I don't actually know if they were actually old, but they were short, so I just assumed they were old. They could have been young and not paying attention. So
Also true.
My walk from the
Short
train
people?
to my job is
Old people.
a little over a mile and a half. I walk there in 8 minutes. I don't
Cool.
run.
Good for you.
It's all the espresso that keeps me going.
Get your cardio in. All right. Well, that's wonderful. And my name is Jared. I am your humble dungeon master here. I play everyone and everything else that is not these 5 glorious PCs, and I'm responsible for all the joy, love, support, and trauma that they go through.
Let's say you're forgetting
Emphasis
something.
on the latter.
Yes, I make it my business to make it interesting. Well, that all
We felt
being
that.
said, let's dive right in to last time on Nuuli Forged. Last time on Nuuli Forged, our brave heroes entered the ruins of the oxidized spire and engaged with the undead guardians within. Spoot quickly turned the majority of their enemy forces, but the party noticed that, with the defeat of each wraith-like entity, they became a small little ball of glowing energy that zipped away down a particular corridor. Following the path, Spoot discovered that the energy was amassing within a larger room, and as each wraith was defeated, the mass of energy would absorb and the ball would grow larger and larger. Olive and Defect finally managed to slay the final guardian, while separated from the group, and it zipped back quickly past the others, merging and finally revealing its true nature. From the dimly glowing energy mass emerged and morphed a massive 18-foot-tall shadowy form of a dragon-born entity, the final guardian of Ozmag, the Shadow Walker. This horrible undead creature emanated an aura of death and reached out with tendrils of shadow to suck the life force from the others. It resisted almost every damage the spellcasters could throw at it, and it drained the life from the party's beloved artificer, Grrrig, before Spoot was able to summon divine fire down and destroy the entity entirely. Rushing to Grigg's side, Spoot learning that Grrrig was indeed dead and no healing magic was restoring them to life. So he acted quickly and attempted to revive Grrrig via the Revivify spell. But even though Spoot is confident that it should have worked, he did the spell correctly. The diamond was consumed. Grrrig did not return to life. Confident that they require stronger magics to return Grrrig, the party sits among the rubble of the oxidized spire, battle-worn and wary, and missing their friend. And we pick up inside this ruined corridor and large chamber of the oxidized spire. Crumbling walls, rubbed away motifs, little hard to really make it out without further investigation. It is dark in here. There is no longer a light source. And Spoot, you are sitting over the body of your friend Grrrig, who did not come back to life when you cast the Revivify spell. And you attempted to reach out for divine assistance, which also went unheeded in this moment.
I think Spoot's gonna have a big, kind of stunned moment of silence before he looks up. Who? Can I assume that everyone is around me?
I'm definitely standing over you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone has gathered around you once you called out that Grrrig isn't coming back.
Yeah, I'll look up. I imagine defect. I probably catch defect's eye first and say that should have worked, and it didn't. And it's
You
going to
know
take.
why?
I don't know why, except it must be there must have been something in that creature that did something to Grrrig before it took Grigg's life. I don't know what, but I haven't lost hope yet. There are stronger spells that we can try. A little bit more of a drastic option.
Do we have the components for them?
So it's gonna like rustle through. They're like, I'm like 90% sure I'm gonna look anyway. Yes.
Stasis.
Stasis?
Do we have a? Not that's the wrong word. I'm sorry. Do we have a way to keep them from getting deader?
Was it gentle repose?
That's the one I'm looking for. Gentle repose.
Gentle repose is.
That's a cleric spell.
It is a
First
cantrip,
level?
I think, isn't it?
Oh no,
no.
it's first level.
Yeah, spare the dying is a cantrip.
Spare the dying is the cantrip. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I
gentle
don't think
repose is a first level spell.
Maybe second. I know all clerics have it.
I've got it. I'm trying to. Do we have not taken a long rest yet, though? I'm trying to determine.
No, in fact, it is still fairly early in the day. Because you woke up from rest, watched for a little bit, and did some investigating of the spire from the outside, and then entered for a very tumultuous battle.
Sorry, 1 second. I think I did something silly, and I think I preemptively.
It is a second level spell.
I'm trying to make sure I didn't preemptively. What am I trying to say? Prepare that? No, it couldn't have. It's still here because I haven't prepared the thing that I really need, which is resurrection. Yes. Okay, in that case, I will use.
And some of you are still suffering from a reduced hit point total.
Just for the sake of, in case we run into any trouble on the way out, I'm going to cast Gentle Repose as a ritual. So I'm going to take the time to pray over Grigg's body while I'm doing Gentle Repose and then thinking like pretty intently on what exactly we need to do. So I'm going to tell the party that I just need some time to prepare Grigg's body.
All right, I guess while you do that, I'm gonna look around a little bit.
I remember how much jackpot like is the show deck a full replacement? Is it all fucking lifts and shit?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, well, Spoot does his thing. I'm gonna look around a little bit.
Oh, I was wondering what
absolutely.
I heard, but I think it was Bacco.
Sorry.
I was like, that didn't sound like Tanner.
No, you're good. Yeah. So you look around the room. Just remind me your passive perception real quick, Nereus.
10.
Okay. So you look around this main room while Spoot is rummaging through to see what components he has in his bags. And what you see is there are faded paintings along the walls. Like some are carving, some are paintings. It's art. They seem to be depicting draconic images, dragons, dragonborn, other various like draconic imagery. There's definitely a theme here. In general, they seem to be depicting scenes of strength and power and various enemies being destroyed and various entities being super powerful and impressive. The walls are also, damaged. There are vines, there are cracks, there are stains. There's a large stone dais on one side of the room. Otherwise, and there's like a few columns up here. There's a few puddles in the corner that seem to be like just puddles from like muck and mire that has leaked in. It looks like there was once another entryway, like a grand entryway opposite the raised dais, but it has long since crumbled and caved in, and it's blocked up.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Can we get put back on the map that we were at before?
Yes, absolutely.
It's been a few weeks, and like,
yeah.
my memory's not great.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Yeah, I know it's maze-like, and we were.
Yeah. Let me just
Yes.
Let me just
Okay.
clear off a few extraneous things for you. There we go.
You dedicated Mike.
All right, so this is the raised dais.
That is correct. Let me just. Yes, that is the raised dais over there.
Okay. And you said there's nothing on that?
At a quick glance, no.
Okay. I will go investigation.
Rip all the readings.
Great. Go ahead.
The,
Make an investigation check.
Rip all this out, and then go away.
19.
Ooh, nice.
I use the spirit of Grrrig.
Yeah. Great. So, Nereus, investigating the dais on a 19, you notice that there's a seam, like in the center of the dais.
A seat?
Seam.
Oh, seam. Okay.
Yes, a seam. It's red, and looking at it, it looks like there's stained kind of an aged red stone kind of behind the dais. This doesn't depict that there is a space behind the dais, but there's like enough space to walk through behind it. But like you follow the seam because it leads directly to this red stone.
Does it look like the dais moves?
It's hard to tell. Like, there's definitely a seam in the dais. And it goes over the top and down the front and back side of it. And with a 19, I will say that it looks like it. I mean, it's very small, but it looks like it's metal, like in the stone.
I have something for metal.
Detect metal?
And the seam leads like right to this stone set right behind the dais. That's like the same exact color.
Mm-hmm.
Would we like to be warmer? I can heat metal.
Right, that's a... God, I have like very little left.
Yeah, getting down and looking at it, because like you have to like look at the stone. It's not very big. It does look like the stone is also metal and not actually stone. Getting down, and it looks like there's slight grooves around it, almost like you could push it down.
Oh, here I was thinking it was a blood ritual. I push the button.
All right, you push in stone, and it resists for a minute, but you get it in, and you hear this like this grinding, creaky, cranking noise of angry ancient machinery and a mechanism, and the dais kind of opens up, like it folds down, and that seam kind of folds down, and it opens up, and you hear this loud cranking and clanking. Anything within 300, 500 feet is going to hear this noise. And it just, and you see it slowly, it angrily raises up. And what you see is a throne come into view. And when the throne is fully level with the top of the dais, you hear a whatever mechanism this was that raised this, you can tell it's broken now.
So is it full? Does it look like it's fully out, or and won't go back in, or it's like kind of midway?
The stone is fully flush with the floor now, and that loud noise makes you think like it's not gonna move again.
But it looks like it completed whatever cycle or movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
The throne is completely raised.
Okay.
All right, it's stuck
And
somewhere.
yeah, no. And sitting upon the throne is a ancient dragonborn skeleton wearing rags that were once quite fine looking by the looks of it, but they are sitting precariously draped over this skeleton. It is wearing a sleek crown of blue metal set with an amber crystal. And you notice a few other bits of jewelry like on its person. And it is sitting in the throne very much like almost as if it had been expecting something, but before it could do anything about it, it died there.
So we want.
Guys, I did a thing.
You all heard the noise.
There's a skeleton. It has a
Pushing into-
crown.
I'm pretty sure we want that crown, but I'm afraid to touch it.
Well, I can get it without touching it. That's fine. But does it? You said by the looks of the clothing, it did look like they're no.
Yeah, like it looks like they were silk robes or something similar, but they've been but they are stained and torn away and decayed, eaten by grubs or something. Or
I didn't know if you were saying like they just looked musty and could be cleaned, and it might be something. Okay.
No, they are rags now.
Okay, got you.
Mm-hmm. Crown fallen imperials.
I found a body.
A body?
And I just point at the body in the chair.
Interesting.
I wouldn't recommend touching it.
Wait a second.
We dealt with enough spooky ghosts. Also, I pushed a big button, and I feel like I took Grrig's job away from them.
Well, I think Grrrig would be proud.
About us touching things?
Given the circumstances.
I touched it for Grrrig. Because I know Grrrig would just instantly just go for it.
Do we have any questions we would like to ask this?
Can I have the crown?
Dragonborn? I mean, anything that we might could ask this thing directly.
Do you have magic for
it? You want to do it?
Oh, well, I guess it's probably too far gone, I suppose.
What to speak with that? What's the time?
10 minutes.
I think it's been a
You can chat with me.
No, that's the duration of the spell, not the...
No, no, I'm saying how long could the body be dead for? Does it say?
I think forever, because you can talk to skeletons and stuff.
It just says if it's a corpse that knows your language.
I think that counts, and you speak, Brooklyn Tanner. Speak Draconic, no?
I lost you a little bit there, sorry.
I said you speak Draconic, no?
I do. I've never used this before, and I don't know how particularly helpful this will be, but...
What's the worst that can happen?
I don't know.
If anything, I'll just pick the things off its head with magic. I won't touch it.
I'm gonna try.
Shiny.
This.
Yeah, it's one of the things we're looking for.
Also, I'm assuming Defect is carrying Grrrig.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go over. I'm just gonna hold on to this for now, and I'm just gonna take the bag of holding, just so I can like put the things from the skeleton in the bag.
Shoot, I'm gonna try this thing. I don't really know what I'm gonna ask it yet, because I think Spoot's mind is on other things, but I'm gonna cast Speak with Dead on the Dragonborn skeleton.
Does it have to be you, or can anybody ask? I'm assuming it's a spellcaster.
It is, yeah, the caster is the conduit.
He's also the one who just...
Well, if it's 10 minutes, we can advise you on the spell, because it's
True, and I could talk to it in Draconic. Okay.
So what
That
does
was
it look
fun.
like when you cast Speak with Dead for the first time, Spoot?
Man, that's a really good question. How do I make this turtle themed?
A little turtle floats from your hand into the chest.
I honestly, yeah, I don't think I've done any necromancy spells yet. So let's add a little dark bit of flavor to this. So we've got a
Cleric
little.
Spoot.
I think
Skull
that yeah,
shaped
a little
motif on the
shape of a
chest.
turtle does come out and floats into the body of the thing, but there's something off about it. And right before it disappears, the last thing you see is the head of the turtle, which is just a skull.
Oh,
Nice. So this little skull-headed turtle swims through the air and into the mouth of this dragonborn skeleton. And then, even though it has no vocal cords, no muscles, no signature to it, you see dust as a breath escapes it. And in Draconic, those of you who understand Draconic, who asks for me?
Spoot will reply in Draconic when they're finished. Sorry.
No, that's all.
Okay. It is I, Spoot, the turtle cleric. Who am I speaking to?
I am Halaxtur Bahun, Imperium of the Hoarded Throne, ruler of Ozmag and first defender of the Dragonborn.
that's quite a name.
It sure was.
So I'm gonna try to take a moment to say back to English, or comment, sorry, to the party what he says, like his name, the ruler of Ozmag. I'm gonna give him the Spark Notes version.
Cool.
I'm going to ask.
Something here?
What's that?
Wasn't Nereus looking for something besides the crown?
I was just
Hearing
about to say, I mean, we don't have to ask it first, but at some point, I need the scepter. Does it? Wait, he doesn't look like he's carrying a scepter right now, right?
He does not.
Okay. Can you just in your questions just ask about the scepter of Ulzmag?
I'll try.
Hold on. Let me before you ask. Let me check the name of it.
That's right. I'll ask my second question next. And obviously, Defect can speak and understand. So if you had a question, Defect, you can jump right in.
Scepter of Dragonborn.
I can also help translate if you need a translator for these guys.
Oh yeah, that actually would be pretty funny if Defect just says everything. And yeah, let's do that. Okay, second question will be. I don't know how this is going to go with the corpse, but I'm going to try it. Do you know
Muffin
how you died? And I'll say his name and then his title, ruler of Ozmag.
Yes. The spell storm came, and then it was dark.
Oh, okay. I'm just giving extra pause in case they have anything else to say.
Nope, that's it.
All right.
I translate.
This is Defect translates. He's dead. I'm just kidding. I want to. I'll say this out loud to the party. I don't know how to phrase this. I want to find a way to ask if he knows how he took this other form, or if he's even aware.
What form? The big ghosty thing?
Yes.
Do we think that's him?
No idea.
I don't think he knows anything that has happened since he died.
Probably not.
Just ask if he's aware of anything in this city that makes it harder for the dead to come back. Maybe.
You see the head creaks a little bit and looks towards all of you, and then looks back to Spoot with its head cocked and empty eye sockets, just staring at Spoot.
Is there something that holds the dead in this place? Is there something that is keeping souls here unreleased?
You hold my soul here.
Actually, I don't, because according to the spell, it doesn't return the soul to your body. So I don't know how this is happening, but it ain't that.
Well, that's the answer he gave you.
Can you?
No compulsion to tell the truth.
No, it doesn't say he's compelled to tell the truth. Under no compulsion to offer truthful answers. Can you ask him about the scepter?
Yes, I'll try that next. I imagine a ruler would have a scepter, which you seem to be, or some other article as such. You seem to be missing one. I've heard a rumor of it.
It's just staring at you. You haven't actually asked it a question yet.
That's true, you're right.
Yeah.
That's where it is.
Where is the scepter of the... What is the full name? Scepter of the Dragonborn?
Yeah, Scepter of Dragonborn.
Scepter of Dragonborn.
That's correct, right, Jared? That was what's in my notes.
It didn't have like a full name. You just know that it was gifted to the Dragonborn by
Okay.
goblins at some point.
Okay. Oh shit. I didn't have by goblins.
Well, I'm going to say that was a note-taking error. So, like,
Okay.
you thought it was called the Scepter of Dragonborn, but like, you know.
Okay, so edit scepter given to the Dragonborn by the goblins.
Sure, Spoot can convey that.
Okay.
To which it looks at you, Spoot, and it says, "It is now mine, not theirs."
Is it still with you?
No. And the head falls, and the skull like bounces off the vertebra and into many pieces as the spell ends, with the 5th question answered.
Telekinesis.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna take that crown.
Yeah, you
Gonna put it in the bag of holding. Then I'm gonna take his jewelry too. Anything nice on the body, I'm just gonna remove it with telekinesis because I don't want to touch it.
Okay. Yeah. So you see this big kind of fancy crown that rolls along the ground and kind of ding 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 ding. You pick it up with telekinesis. You put it in the bag without touching it. Fine. You see that like on like the shredded rags, there's a silver brooch or brooch, however you say it. You gank that. There was a fine golden chain around the vertebra, kind of laying over where the chest was. It has like a reddish stone in it. And you see a very interesting looking anklet that seems to be set with more red stones that you kind of managed to like use your telekinesis and like unhook and like get off the ankle bone. And that goes into the bag as well. And amongst all of this rummaging through the skeleton and manipulating it via telekinesis, you all hear as the platina or as the anklet is put into the bag, you hear a slight ting ting ting, clank clank, as though something has fallen out of a long destroyed pocket.
I look around.
Is
Yeah.
it scepter shaped?
easy enough to see. You see a small platinum key on the ground
I pick that up too,
with
but that'll put in my hand, or
Right.
like I'll kind of have it hover above if I can, just so
Yeah.
I can like.
Yeah, you can have it hover and like spin around and look at it. On one side of the key is a symbol that looks like 3 rectangles in front of an archway.
Do I
And
see anything in this room?
I can show you what that looks like. It looks like this.
It's a library.
Huge. Not a library.
It's a good book.
It's always a library. Everything's a library dispute.
Library and fish, my 2 favorite things.
Amber, did you wrote those things down for the bag, right?
I saw that you put them in, and so then I will do that. I was decidedly not paying attention.
No,
If it's not here, you can leave a message
like,
after
I'm
the
not
tone.
thinking.
just
But yeah,
in
I'll write it
case,
down.
I don't want to like mess with your document.
Yeah, I'll add it.
Glad we get to keep the bag before.
For- We have
It
the
lasts-
number of days equal to intelligence
But y'all
modifier.
don't know that.
Yeah, but
Right.
you don't know how long stuff will last. Although all your stuff that Grrrig made seems to be lasting, so as far as you know, it'll stay forever. But yeah,
I'll see.
so
The
you see
stuff
that
though
symbol
explodes
on
out,
the key.
right?
Who's to say it was made by a goblin?
It's the ethereal sea, or astral sea.
Or maybe
All
there's
right,
a little fire involved. Who knows? Anyway, moving forward.
The grate behind us, is it shaped like this arch?
It is of a similar style, but all of the doorways are kind of shaped in that same kind of architectural style. It is not unique.
Gotcha.
Is there a like this? This is a doorway. Yes. Was.
It was at one point, yes.
Do I see any of that symbolism around it?
Make an investigation check.
How many sorcery points do I have left? Just kidding. I have none. All right. First of all, I'm gonna bonus action some sorcery points back.
Sure.
All right. I have 6 points. Burned all of my 2nd level spell slots.
Great. I love that.
All right. Investigation. Yeah, no, we're gonna re-roll that one.
All right. Spend that sorcery point.
Ah, fuck. Even worse.
You are confident that even though you are not finding anything yet, this is where you should be looking.
I think this is the way.
How would you know
As
that?
as Nereus is investigating this rubble and ruined archway that has fallen to pieces and is really just a pile of rocks at this point, Spoot, you spent some time rummaging through your bag, and you discovered you had another diamond.
I have another diamond,
Okay.
and I will need to get the diamond that Grrrig has in their bag in order to make the value of the diamond needed for the spell
Okay.
that requires.
Yeah, you reach your hand in thinking about the diamond that you know is in there, and you pull it out. So now you have both diamonds. You have 2 diamonds that are worth about 300 gold.
Whew,
You
okay.
should reach into the bag that Nereus is now carrying.
Slow down. Hang on. Wait.
Yeah, Nereus is so involved in looking at this doorway that he doesn't even notice that.
I'm gonna.
Oh, my perception is trash, so I don't doubt it.
Do we?
Following around trying to put his hands in your pockets as you go.
Spoot, what is your passive perception?
15.
Cool. So as Nereus is looking around, and he showed you all the key, he's looking around. What you do notice is like there's some weird stuff like carved on the walls, and you kind of start looking at them, and there's a lot of like dragons and like draconic stuff, and like fire breathing dragons and ice breathing dragons, and like colors and stains, like all of the colors in the universe have once point be here. You do find one kind of interesting carving. It looks like wings, like underneath a rainbow or an arc with a crack running through it, over against one of the walls here. And it looks like there's like a small hole just under the wings, like not like carved, but like almost like a bullet hole, like it was the result of an impact or shatter maybe. But it is like right where this crack is.
Can I investigate?
Absolutely. Go for it.
1 second.
And
I'm
if
gonna
anyone
try-
else would like to poke around, you can feel free to roll investigation checks.
Olive
gonna-
would like to look at the dais, and particularly the wall behind the dais, looking for something that looks like 3 squares.
Cool. Yeah, all of you look around. You don't see anything 3 squaresy.
Nah.
I'm adding my +5 to that for the knowledge of the ages,
Okay, so 21.
just in case.
Cool. So with a 21 spoot, you get intrigued by this, and you realize that this carving was once something very different, and has worn away over time. And the crack in the wall has affected this hole. This hole was carved at one point with a purpose, but like age and this crack that appeared through shifting mortar or whatever happened here has like broken it a little bit. But you kind of wipe away some stuff, and as you wipe away that rainbow becomes less of a rainbow and more of a arch, and you kind of dig your claw in and remove some dirt, and it becomes a full archway, and the wings become less rounded as you clear away dirt. Not perfectly so, but it does look like the wings aren't like spread flayed wings. It looks like they were once more geometric in shape.
Nereus.
You also, Spoot, look down the wall because something catches your eye while you do this. And you realize that there is a like pile of debris, and you see like what looks to be a case or a display of some kind that's buried under the rubble.
Okay. I think I found some things. First, could I see your key, Nereus?
Yeah.
Sure.
There's a guy in
I'm gonna take the
Oh.
key.
I'll float it over to Spoot. Unless it's been more than 10 minutes.
It's probably cutting it close at this point.
Okay.
Spoot's like trying to catch it and it's falling.
You've been door obsessed for at least a good 6 minutes here. So yeah, you pluck the key out of the air.
Okay. I think I might have found the keyhole, then possibly a matching symbol. There's a hunch here, but I'm going to try it. But also, and then I'll point at the case that is underneath the rubble in front of us.
Oh.
In case this does nothing, maybe that's important.
I'll start trying to move the rubble with like my last bit of telekinesis.
Yeah, easy
At
enough
least
to
the
do.
big pieces.
Yeah, there's a few bigger pieces, but you do eventually. It's a fallen display under this debris, and there is a small, like 2.5, 3 foot scepter mounted to it. It is tarnished, but in the light that someone has, I assume, generated a light cantrip or something at this point.
Both me and Spoot have it.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I probably have put it on my shield at this point.
yeah. It's tarnished, but it's still. But like, if you clean off a little bit of it, it shines up pretty nicely.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah, it shines right up. It's a very distinctive style. It looks at times both like haphazard but intentionally so, and like there's sharp pointy bits. But the opus of this scepter is the head at the top. It is a roaring brass dragon head, like jaws open, like in mid throw of roar. And there is a plaque that's tarnished, and you kind of wipe away the dirt, written in Draconic.
Vegetation.
Yep. It is Draconic runes, so you can pass that off to Spoot to look at.
Defect.
Or defect.
Or defect. Defect, you read the runes. And it says, a gift from the goblinoid king of Tenktuk Brog Gurinaw, or Gurginaw, 4137 PD, in a bond of peace and cooperation.
Hey, is that the thing you were looking for? Olive looks up from looking at the dirt swirls
I
near the dais.
believe so. Nereus is gonna kind of sit down on the floor a moment, pull out like his like little book, just tear out a page and just write a message. I'll type you the message. And then I'm gonna take the goblin history book thing out of the bag, and put the note in it, and then put it on the paper and send it off. And then I'm gonna put the scepter with the, and kind of like wrap the plaque or something to the scepter and send it off.
Cool. So you take out these scrolls of vellum that you've held on to since you were given them by your friendly neighborhood captain back in Winton. Or, Winton. And you roll them out, and you place as soon as you place the book on it, some cackling blue flames grow up, and in an instant flash, whoosh, and it disappears along with the paper. And when you immediately place the scepter on the second piece of paper, whoosh, the same thing happens again.
Is that what you were expecting to happen?
I had no idea it was gonna happen. At least I won't die now.
It's probably a good thing.
Well, I mean, I might die from something else, but not this deal.
Do we think the key in the hole is a good idea?
Maybe
is
we
it-
can sit down first for a little bit.
Wait, did we not use the key to open the case?
Well,
No, the key's for the hole in the wall.
let me do this. Let me, especially if we're considering a short rest, let me, I don't know if this is helpful at all or just overkill, but I'm going to spend a channel divinity to become proficient in masonry tools in case I have any issues with the key in this stone wall sort of thing. I don't know if that would give me any extra insight into, like if the mechanism breaks or whatever.
So you spend it, and you immediately can tell that this hole was carved with purpose.
Okay. I feel a little safer with the key. I think the chances of traps are hopefully low. So,
Crack. Like, how big of a crack are we talking about? We're talking about this wall crumbling down?
yeah, does it look like it's structurally unstable?
It is just like a small crack that happens to run right where this hole was.
Okay.
So
Let me
like
try.
it's widened a little bit and kind of like ruined some of the imagery, but yeah. So you stick it
All
in.
right.
It fits in the hole.
Turn it to the right.
You hear loud cranking and whirring to be heard, but underneath all of you.
Oh.
And in the off to one side of like the middle of the room by one of the pillars, you hear grinding of stone and metal under the floor, and slowly the stones that were the floor begin to sink one by one. until it reveals a square kind of spiral staircase that descends downwards.
Oh. That was unexpected.
Does this lead to the trap room under the throne?
I mean, there's only one way to find out.
I mean, there's got to be a way for, if the throne makes that dramatic entrance, there has to be a way for the humanoid to get there, right?
If we're lucky, this could also be another way out of Osmag, provided that it's not completely destroyed.
Or a way further in.
Or that.
Both.
And we're
I
at ground. We didn't go up any stairs to come in here.
No, but these towers looked bigger, no?
I believe the whole city is sunk under the swamps.
You did
There's-
notice that there were
Yep.
stairs, like the tops of stairs when you came in, but like one or two. But it looked like they continued farther down into the muck.
How much time? I don't know how much time. Oh, Channel Divinity is 10 minutes. While I'm still proficient with masonry tools, I think I'm going to be amazed by the fact that this even works still in an otherwise ruined city.
I mean, you don't have to be proficient to be amazed that this thing still functioned. Like, it's pretty fucking incredible.
Is there?
It's whoever knows how old, and it worked after being whatever this went through with the spell storms during the breaking, and being in a sunken swamp. So
just for funsies. I think I've done this before while using the masonry tools. Could I get, like, I don't know if it'd be a history check. Can I gain any insights about like how old this may be, the city, or would I know anything about this from the way it's built?
well, you know that Osmag itself predates the breaking.
Right.
What do you want, stone cutting?
I don't know, actually. I don't know. I'm gonna go.
You can go ahead and make a history check.
I feel like I
You-
probably only know about this place in rumors.
I mean, assuming
Or-
Defect read the plaque aloud, we know
did.
that the scepter was at least given to them in 4137 PD, but we don't know
Ah.
necessarily.
That's true. Yeah, it could be much older
We
than
could
that.
ask the elves. The elves would probably know
Yeah.
what time that was.
I could have asked that guy, but I accidentally asked him 2 questions that were the same.
It's all right, your 10 minutes is up anyway.
It's true.
But yeah. So you don't get any further insight from the architecture or the stonework or anything, Spoot.
Fair
Do we
enough.
maybe want the familiar down there as opposed to one of us? Maybe something that flies.
What familiar?
I can find a familiar.
Sure, I mean, I would like to sit down for a minute because I'm feeling awfully beat up.
I'm also a fan of that, but I can summon a familiar before we rest, and then resting is more useful to me.
I mean, sure, go for it, as long as they can see in the dark.
Doo-doo. Blind sight includes seeing in the dark, yeah?
Not really.
No,
It It means you know things are around you.
Okay. In that case, hang on, I need to find a different familiar.
All right. As Olive does some meditations on finding a familiar to send in, you have this open stairway. Does anyone want to do anything, or you're going to wait for Olive?
I'll wait for Olive.
Yeah, I suppose if we're taking a short rest, I can wait till afterwards to see if anyone needs more healing.
All right. So you all settle down to take a breather. Grrrig, you are fighting this horrible creature. Your friends are around you. There are tentacles lashing everywhere around you. And you feel yourself impacted by one. And you feel that wave of death and necrosis just wash over you. And all of a sudden, you see yourself, you see your body flat and prone on the ground, and you are speeding past your friends, and you swear you catch eyes with Spoot as you head towards this towering figure that you've been fighting, and you swear you lock eyes with Spoot, and then you disappear into the maw of this horrible creature, this entity of shadow and darkness. And then you are floating in nothingness. It is a void. There is no sensation, but there is consciousness. You're not sure how long you're here. And then you hear Spoot calling to you. You felt this tug before. Spoot's trying to bring you back. And you can't find the way. You can't find it. However much you want to or not. Assuming you do, you just can't find that something to latch onto like you could before. It's not strong enough. And it fades, and time goes on, but there's no sensation of the passage of time. It's just dark and a void. And slowly, shadows begin to shift and move. And they begin to take shapes and forms. Tell me, Grrrig, what forms and shapes do they take?
There's a bush. There's a cactus.
Your fears.
Literally the first things that popped into my head. I'm sorry, it's hilarious.
I love it. I love it. Go for it. You
Yeah,
see,
I think it's just lots of like fuzzy bits of everything that's like that we've fought. It's like all the things that we've been fighting.
yeah, you see this shrubbery kind of come into view, and you see it animatedly move towards you and kind of wash over you, and then it kind of phases over you. But yet you have no existence. You have no body. It's like you are watching it all, but disconnected.
This isn't science.
And you see another form, and you see a familiar form of a cactus, and then tendrily spines shoot out towards you and wisp through where your body should be. But there is nothing there.
Oh, and there are the hyenas.
Hyenas, and countless enemies that you have faced with your friends and your group time and time again. Shadowy images that can only be your father and brother appear and then disappear. And it's this continuous cycle of foes and threats that you've faced. Some you've defeated and some you haven't. And you always come back, and every time you get towards the end of the cycle, you see yourself locking eyes with Spoot and then being pulled away again. And that is your current existence.
Does this count as a physical activity? Because it might like it less than swimming.
There is no physicality here, so probably not.
Damn.
This is a metaphysical activity.
This is not science.
Back in the material sphere of Nuuli that living people are inhabiting, Olive, have you found a familiar to summon?
Yes, I have summoned a familiar owl.
Great.
Who I'm going to send down the stairs.
Woo!
I'm going to sit down on the floor and look through their dark vision eyes and see what is down those stairs.
Yeah. They descend downward a ways. Not super far. You've got 100-foot range on this, I think.
To communicate telepathically. I don't know that there's a range on...
I think it's 100 feet if you warg into it. But double check.
Yeah, I guess so, yes.
Yeah, so, yeah, it goes down a few times, probably like 30, 40 feet maybe. And as it goes down, it comes out into a large open area, and in the owl's dark vision, you can see it lands and rests itself on some kind of branch or stick or rod or balcony railing or something. And as it looks down into the area, it's massive, the space that it has come to. And looking down, it seems like it's multi-tiered. Like there are multiple stories, and there are rows of something kind of at the edges of its dark vision. It can't really see it all. It's too massive. But nearby it, it does seem like, as it turns its head kind of back to where it came, by the doorway, there is a pedestal with a glass box or something right in front of the doorway that it flew over. And it can see that there's something in there, but it can't see what it is exactly. It looks like a piece of parchment or vellum or something that's just laid underneath this cover.
Or can I get her to look at the floor and see if it appears solid?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. It appears like, as far as you can tell through the vision of this thing, it looks like wood and stone.
It's not like crumbling or anything.
It's remarkably well preserved.
Hey guys, there's a ginormous room down there. And it just keeps going. And I don't understand why it fits under the swamp, but there's no swamp down there. It looks pretty well kept.
Sounds exciting.
What is ginormous?
The
It's
owl
an
can't
adjective.
The owl can't see the edges of it and has a dark vision of 120 feet.
Oh. Curious.
And it is bigger than that.
I think before we investigate something like that, we need to rest.
I am very much in favor of that. Olive is going to move closer to the staircase and see how far say to the owl telepathically.
Ooh.
Keep going, come back and let me know if there's a way out.
Cool. You kind of get this feeling of ascent, and presumably that's what it does. It flies away.
Great.
It's off on a mission.
Yep. Owl sticks around for 5 hours, so
Yeah, sure.
be plenty of time for us to take a short rest and.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you settle down for a short rest.
With those diamonds, can you bring Grrrig back?
Yes. I am confident that I can bring Grrrig back with these diamonds, but it will take some effort. We have only seen this spell used once before, and it's a little bit more involved.
I'd rather go down there with Grrrig. I'd rather not be having us carry Grrrig around the whole time. I feel like they should be seeing these.
Well, the worst news is that I will need to take a long rest before I'm able to cast anything else that can help Grrrig.
Shall we rest then? Really
Taking
short
a
rest.
short-
Well, I guess have to. So I'm not super tired yet, so I'm guessing we'd have to wait.
It's also
a little
still
bit longer.
fairly early in the day.
Yeah.
That's true. I would argue that we might be exhausted after a big boss battle, but also we do 2 or 3 of those a day sometimes, so.
I will also say that there have been other challenges in this vicinity, so you're free to spend time here, but you know.
I know. I
Maybe
think
we should go camp back at the other place and then come back.
Well, getting in and out could prove its own challenge.
Getting in here was not easy.
Olive, how much room is down there to relax?
Down below, lots.
Why don't we try that then? Why don't we just go down a little bit and maybe it'll be a little safer than just sitting out in the open?
I hope so. Yeah. Let's see. Probably better than sitting here.
So you all descend the staircase?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll keep light going on the shield, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll take up the rear and throw a light up as well.
Cool. Light before you, light behind you. You descend.
Does Defect have Grrrig, or does one of us need to pick up Grrrig?
Defect has Grrrig.
No, I have Grrrig.
Are you Princess carrying Grrrig, or are you Fireman carrying Grrrig?
Princess.
Yes.
One-armed as well, so it's like not even a...
Come on.
Just like when they put the kid like in one arm, like that's what Defect's got going on.
Little baby. Baby carrot.
Need to make it like a little
you
paprika.
descend down this spiral staircase.
Blanket. Just tie me up with the blanket.
Swaddle you.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're getting a little kinky here. No kink shaming, but moving forward. Anyway, you descend down a good 30 or 40 feet down the spiral staircase, which is a little awkward because it is like square. It's not like a perfect circle down, so it's a little like step and move and step and move and step and turn, and so it's very like Minecraft. So you descend down, and what you see upon first entering, you see, which all of you kind of have already seen, you see a pedestal, a pedestal, that has glass over it in this light, and there's a parchment in it. Kind of before you go through the rest of the doorway. Spoot, you're in front with your shield, giving off light, and you can see that there is draconic writing on the parchment.
I read it.
Great. Spoot, I'm going to whisper to you what you read.
Psychic damage.
Super secret.
Defect's like over my shoulder, like, what you reading?
Yeah, I know.
Is it a poem?
Olive's like, yeah, there's a thing there, but I couldn't read it, so I moved on.
I think I sent that to the wrong thing. I think that I sent that to a token that doesn't talk back.
I mean, I see stuff. Is that what you... Is it only like one chunk?
There we go.
Wait, I see two chunks.
Yeah, read the second chunk.
One chunky, two chunk.
And you may feel free to read this to your compatriots.
I'm going to read it aloud in Aquan. Ha ha ha.
I'll understand you.
Suckers. Well, you could get part of it, I think. Isn't that what we figured out?
I speak primordial. I speak your mother tongue.
Oh, yeah, but I have like a dialect of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me read over it. Well, screw it. I'll read it out loud. The whole thing. Sorry, I lost my voice this week too. By order of Halexter Bon, I don't know, Imperium of the Hoarded Throne, ruler of Osmag, and first defender of Dragonborn, this collection of knowledge has been hoarded and protected in the final days of our empire. We have lost contact with our allies over the last 175 years of these nearly constant spellstorms. Our diviners have claimed we are suffering from some group of mages who tampered with the legendary generous shards, and a full storm is due to strike our fertile and varied homeland. Our populace has already been scattered by smaller storms, so we must save what we can. What value do gold or trinkets have in the face of imminent doom? We offer this hoard of knowledge to any who might find our gleaming spear, seat of our imperium, palace of wing and claw, whenever and in whatever condition. Know that we were here and use our treasure to brighten the future of Nuuli once again. I think Spook got a little tear reading that.
Do you know who I think would love this room?
Oh,
That elf.
I thought you were going to say Grrrig. It was just like a big sigh.
I think Grrrig likes. I don't know if Grrrig likes reading. I think Grrrig likes things.
Well, there's like learning to be had here, and
A
that
lot
could
of
be exciting. So, okay, there's a lot to check out here.
Do you continue on?
Yes.
I would like to sit down before we continue.
Continuing forward, it's just through. There's another archway right on the other side of the pedestal.
There's just sits down like, "Nah, I'm good. You guys go."
You're on the
Continuing
stairs.
through the next archway, you emerge onto a balcony.
And there's a dragon.
A balcony that, when you look over, you see that it goes down for multiple stories, at least 5 or 6 below you, maybe more. And each one is tiered. And on the bottom floor with the light, you can just barely see the tops of shelves. And around the balconies around you are alcoves and bookshelves lined with books upon books upon books upon books upon books. Most of what you see here is covered in cobwebs, but very little dust. And it is quiet, save for the exceptional occasional drip of water. And looking at the walls, the occasional thin trickle of mud that has seeped in. The interesting thing here, Spoot, is that the bookcases have been pulled away from the walls. And walls that were once wooden and stone have been covered, as have presumably what were once windows have been covered, with massive sheets of platinum that have been banded with steel and iron, inlaid with gold sigils. The sigils you recognize as draconic, and that they are runes of preservation. So, to the best of your knowledge, this room, whatever it may have once been, this massive chamber here, this massive hall, was converted and reformed into this egg of hoarded knowledge of this fallen Imperium. And it is at this point where Olive's owl returns and lands upon your shoulder and nuzzles your head, Olive, in a way that indicates apology and failure on their mission. You get the sense that there is no other exit. Looking out at this massive collection of tomes, Spoot, this is something that would take a team of researchers years to sort through. But it all looks to be pretty well protected. There's only the occasional dribble or drip of water from like the edge of a round. So whatever protections have been in place here have been here for a very long time, but they are starting to fade.
Wow, this is incredible. This is unbelievable. I don't even. I don't even want to go inside because I don't have the time now. But maybe if I can send word back to Mucklow that this knowledge exists,
What would
We can-
Mucklow do with all this?
Well, not the entire village, but the people that I know there, that I know and trust there. This is maybe they can help.
Well, what about all those like scholarly people we've met along the way? What about your Seda Malur?
Well, you would definitely need to know about this for sure.
I
I assume it
feel
would
like
take me.
this shouldn't really be knowledge given to people who would, hold it to themselves. I at least feel like, someone who is able to, or more willing to share the knowledge would be better fit.
Oh no, I don't imagine that my friends and family in Mucklow will want to hoard this knowledge, but perhaps can help keep this protected until some greater investigation can occur.
That's fair. I just, I don't know if I was gonna say I didn't know if Mucklow necessarily had the resources.
was
Oh
gonna say,
no,
they're not-
certainly not. Certainly not. But they are the closest, and given the parties that surround the swamp, the only people that live nearby that I would trust with this knowledge.
To be honest, though, I'm
Right,
curious
but you could
if.
bring people here.
Well, that's what I'm curious about. Is maybe there's a teleportation circle? Something this magical, they have to have had, something like that here.
Sure. Can you just do a quick sketch of what one looks like, and we'll show the owl and let her keep looking for one?
You saw one in the basement of the
I
that
did,
bar, and then that temple that I teleported us to twice.
I'm sure I have a drawing of it if we've encountered it.
Owl, and don't feel necessarily that I could describe to the owl what she's looking for.
I could flip back into my Spoot's notebook and probably find that symbol.
Would that be something that? Well, it's not one symbol. It's like a circle of many symbols.
Yeah, I don't need the symbols. I'm looking for something. I'm going to ask the owl to look for a circle written or carved in the ground, perhaps on the ground floor of this structure, and show her this, the rough sketch of what a circle looks like, not the individual symbols, but what the shape of it is, and ask her to look and see if she can see something like this.
Okay. The owl whoop and takes flight and goes down and disappears beyond the edge of the light.
As exciting as all of this is, I can't even
Got mobile eyes. We may as well use them.
focus on this right now because I'm a bit too preoccupied with what we need to do for Grrrig. I know it's still early, so perhaps we can explore this room a little bit, but I'm wondering if it's safe enough. Should we stay here for our rest tonight? Or
I
should
don't
we
see
start?
why not. I don't see anything.
You
It's the way we
you
came
do see, by the way, as you came in, and this is something I forgot to tell you, there is a lever after you've entered the library proper, next to the archway.
The lever.
It's currently down.
Oh, the lever, Kronk.
Okay, guys, how? Oh, Mr. Proficient with masonry tools. How likely do we think this is going to be to work a second time?
How likely do we think 10 minutes have passed?
I mean,
10 minutes have
if
passed.
if getting out of here is the problem, I have that solved. I just would need to, sleep.
I mean, I could take us back to Fay Harbor at any point in time.
There's no trees here.
No, I've got a latch blade.
That's true. That's true. I can also do teleportation circles, so we have options.
Yeah, latch blade does not require rest at this point because I haven't used it in a while, but we're somewhat limited in where we can go.
Yes, so we have options. I don't think that's really a concern, at least at the moment.
Okay.
So why don't we shut the door then?
If I had to guess, and this is purely a guess, perhaps the lever controls from the inside. the stairs that open up.
Olive's gonna pull the lever.
The lever is currently down.
Pull it up.
Lift, I think that's the word you're looking for.
You hear grinding of metal and stone, and you see, looking back where you came, because that's where the noise is coming from, the stone stairway that you came down, the stairs are rising up slowly, and you hear one by one, and it seems like you've been sealed in.
Let's hope that works at least one more time.
I don't like being underground.
So, for the sake of argument here, is your plan pretty much to spend the rest of the day looking around and then take a long rest and attempt to raise Grrrig the next day?
I believe so, yeah.
Spoot's a little preoccupied with that, I'm not going to lie. So if the party agrees to that, I think that's the plan. Otherwise, we should begin now the journey out of this place to a safe resting spot.
I
I believe this is as safe as it's going to get.
Unless there's something in here, yes, I think that you're right.
Well, if there's something in here, we can use Olive's latch blade, so I would just say keep that handy.
Yeah.
Cool. About 30 minutes goes by, and the owl returns again, and does that same motion of like, sorry.
All right. So the
You
owl could be, but
Yeah.
I don't think there's a teleportation circle in here.
Alright, I mean, if anything, if we're going to stay in here for a little bit, I can just look around myself.
Yeah.
In Amber, in the bag of holding, is that where Grrrig keeps the wand of detect magic?
Grrrig cannot be reached right now.
Grrrig cannot be reached right now.
I'm asking Amber.
I think that actually is on Grrig's belt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bandolier.
Yeah,
It's-
you see it hanging there.
yeah.
Oh. I'll reach for it and just kind of use. I want to inspect the what's it called?
I don't
The
know. you'd have to tell
plating.
me.
The plating with the sigils on the what would be windows.
Yeah. You can use that. The wand reveals that there are some. That was adorable. You found a new thing that appears.
Yay!
The sigils are sigils of preservation.
Mhm.
So
I'm just curious what kind of magic it is.
abjurative magic. So protective magic. Much similar to the effect your tattoos
Okay.
give you.
Does it look like it's fading at all?
It looks like it has, like there are like sputters, and it looks like there are places that have weakened and like are not magical anymore. Like there's a few places that you can see like where there are little leaks coming through. Like there's no magic there anymore.
Can I see if I can channel some abjurative magic into them?
Sure. How would you like to do that?
Like if I could refill the battery a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
I can infinitely cast technically infinitely cast mage armor and which is a first level spell, and I also have shield.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that the tattoos which sends a mage, which do your mage armor, because that's not actively casting, it just happens. That magic doesn't apply here.
Okay, so I'll go around to a couple of the windows that look like they're sputtering the worst and just like juice them up a little bit then.
Cool. You said you have shield prepared. That's an abjurative spell.
Yeah, I have 4 of those I can use.
Cool. What level would you like to cast it at the first place?
I only have first level spell slots left.
All right. You go and you manage to. Normally, this is something you cast like on yourself. So it's a little weird. Just go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
24.
Yeah, you are able to figure out how to channel this instead of it like protecting yourself to funnel into the runes. And it looks like the runes increase a little bit. You don't know how long it will last, but it seems like it worked.
And then just with the wand to detect magic, are there any like glowing books or do I see anything magical around the room aside from the windows?
At the range that you currently have access to, no.
Well, I'm kind of like walking around and like looking around and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
because we have all day.
Still
Yeah,
asleep, though.
over time as you walk around, because you're going to spend a few hours doing this kind of walking around, and you don't get through the whole place. But you do not find any books or items or objects that glow with magic beyond the runes and like the metal banding. So there's no like reliquary of magic here.
Okay. Then I'll just like occasionally look at some books and see if there's anything useful down here. Aside from that, I'm done.
Yeah. Every time you look at a book, you can't read it.
Oh, of course. All right. Then I'll just keep looking for it.
Every book you look at is written in Draconic.
Right. All right. I'll just look for teleportation circle then.
Yep. So you spend your time. You go downstairs and start looking for that.
Pictures.
I found a picture book.
Over the course of the day, unless anyone has anything else specific they want to do, which feel free to say. Over the course of the day, everybody looking around, kind of poking around. Nearest, you do not find a teleportation circle on the ground floor.
Damn.
It seems like this was not someplace where people were expected to be. It seems like it was a place where it is what it is. It is a time capsule, for lack of a better term. Over the course of the day, Spoot, as you're poking around, you find a couple of books that may be interesting to you. There's one called A Recollection of Nuuli's Faiths, which a quick skim kind of looks like it's accounts of fallen and current pantheons believed in across Nuuli at various points in time, or at least at the time that this book was written. There's a tome called Automatons, Constructs, Golems, and Other Homunculi, which looks like it contains a bit of information on like manufactured servants, both mechanical and magical. And then you found another book in another section. Does everyone else lost Defect? He's just gone black screen.
Yeah, he keeps going dark.
Oh,
dark.
Stop playing with your stuff, you bastard. You're making me be afraid that I've lost you. You shithead. The third book you find, Spoot, is a comparison of Imperium censuses between 2134 PD and 2229 PD. Which, as far as you can tell, Spoot, seems to be a heavy and technical ledger comparing the final decade before the breaking and the first 7 or 8 where there were spell storms. It seems like it kind of tracks the devastation and destruction that the Imperium suffered. Just by graphs alone, you can kind of figure that out looking at this book.
I feel like the meme with the woman with all the like
all the symbols floating around her head.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What was the first book? I'm so sorry. Nuuli's something.
Yeah. A Recollection of Nuuli's Faiths. But eventually, time goes by, you all get tired, and you can settle in for a long rest. Which you all settle down and take a long rest. And as you settle in and take a long rest, we're going to take a short rest. So we're going to take a quick little 5-minute rest, do a little bio break. Thank you, I've Got It, for being here. Thank you for the resubscription. Thank you to everyone who's watching us so far. We will be right back with a quick little. We'll be right back with the rest of it.
We'll work for our sponsor.
Yeah, the sponsor of our break slides. So we'll be right back, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll see you in a moment. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We have just had our characters settle in for a long rest, which passes uneventfully because you are locked in a time capsule. God, I almost said time machine. I'm like, nope, that's not right.
It's just like a weird
You
turn.
wake up and suddenly it's
Yeah.
Quick, go back to before Grrrig dies.
You wake up, indeed. Prepare your spells wisely for the day.
Are we still max hit point reduced?
Oh, that is a fantastic question. Let me double check
No.
something for you.
Right, Jared?
Let me double check something for you.
It's worse.
Because D&D Beyond says no.
Indeed, those of you who have completed a long rest and were suffering a maximum hit point reduction are no longer under that affliction.
Excellent.
Wait, can I have said during long rest, I want to take a look at the items I picked off the skeleton.
Yeah, totally.
I give Spoot the crown.
Yep.
And the necklace, and then while he's doing that, I futz with the anklet and I put it on.
Cool. You are now wearing, after a little prestidigitation to shine it up a little bit, you are now wearing a very nice platinum anklet that is set with ruby chips.
Ooh.
Nothing else.
And nothing else.
Okay, fantastic. I love it.
It's a look.
That's great. I like a look.
Yeah.
Nereus, you're doing something different with your hair lately.
Nereus, you are for
I
all
just, like,
you
stretch
are
up
for
the
all
anklet.
intents an average-sized humanoid. Roll a d8 for me.
Oh, is this big?
Let's find out.
I bet it's Grrrig sized.
A D8.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going with that at all.
I thought Dragonborn were like medium-sized creatures too. 5.
Nereus looks good in nothing but an anklet.
I'm wearing clothes.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Oh, you said and nothing else, so I thought you were just modeling the anklet nude.
Wait. No, when did I?
That's my fault. I was
No, I said,
misunderstanding.
I said, oh, nothing else, as in like,
Oh.
it's not like.
Oh, I heard and nothing else, and so I thought
No,
that.
oh, I'm sorry. No, I said, oh.
Oh, hey.
Woo, wait, look at them tattoos.
Hey, it's an adult stream. Everybody, get ready for it.
wow.
Hello. All right. So that is the anklet you are wearing. The other thing is a gold and silver brooch that you took off, and then that very nice golden chain that has a red stone in it.
Oh, yeah, I give those to Spoot and the crown.
Cool. Yeah.
Let's see.
Spoot, the crown is like a gunmetal blue kind of metal color, and there's a big amber crystal in it that seems to kind of like glow and maybe smoke a little bit. It's weird.
I think we know who should wear a crown. No.
Not me.
You're
Who
dead.
goes to put it on your head and you're like,
That's right,
no?
I'm dead.
I'm
Defect
like,
can't
oh.
wear both the crown and the circlet.
But-
That's tacky.
But
That's
so
tacky.
those were given to you. However, it is now a new day.
Oh,
he
no,
couldn't have
I...
done those last night?
Nope, you didn't think of it in time.
Ah, fuck. Well, you can ritual cast Identify, right?
You
Yeah.
can.
Yes, I
It's
can.
a ritual.
Oh, no, I accidentally prepared create undead, not raise undead. Sorry, Grrrig.
So you all awaken, and there is a heavy burden upon you this day. Spoot, you go through your prayers, your meditations, your devotions, whatever it is that you do to connect to Farlane in this moment, and your various celestial guides that you have interacted with. And you have access to all of your spells and abilities for the day. And you have 2 valuable diamonds in your pouch.
Nice, throw them away. No,
You stomp on them.
crush them, make them diamond dust. Now they're a new component. No, I'm just double checking everything that I have not screwed up in my what I've prepared.
This one character I had once got altered during a teleportation mishap, and he only could eat precious stones, and I did eat a diamond once.
I love it.
It was bad.
Glorious.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Okay.
So the spell in question is Raise Dead. You want me to throw it up there so we can read it,
Sure.
or do you know it all? Do you know this is the
I need
one you
to
know
read it.
about, right?
Yeah.
Put it in
So
there.
this ritual is going to take an hour. And Spoot, you begin this ritual. You lay the 2 diamonds onto Grrig's small, deflated chest in the hopes that this ritual will work. What does it look like as you begin the ritual, Spoot?
That is a good question. How many turtle themed ones can I do without being stale? I don't know. Maybe it's just sort of a faint green glowing light coming from my hands. It may be sort of dome shaped or reminiscent of a shell, but not literal.
Okay. You summon this energy, and slowly this green dome-ish shape that you've summoned over Grrrig begins to... The golden energy from your hands seeps into it and suffuses over Grigg's body. And there comes a point where you know it is time for the first person to make an offering to this ritual. As the caster, you are the conduit for this. So you are not... Your offering is the casting of the spell, Spoot. So you look to your friends and ask, who will make the first offering?
I think that's defect.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
gonna just look at Defect. I'm gonna give him the respect of letting him go first
Thank you.
and ask and say, it's time. What would you like to offer to this spell?
Let's see. Let's do this. I will approach Grig's body and kneel down. The part of the body that holds my totems is going to like open up. I'm going to reach inside, and it's going to go past the 2 totems I have right now towards a friendship bracelet that Grrrig had given me a long time ago. And I'm going to pull it out and place it upon Grig's body and say, hold on, let me find something here. Got it. I'm going to say the haiku that Grrrig had also written me. No, friends do not lie. Enemies can look like friends. Treasure the right ones. And then I'll say, Grrrig, please come back. Can't walk this life without you. And if you come back, I promise I'll never leave your side.
Defect. You bring forth this treasured item of that signifies your friendship with Grrrig, and you lay it down and you recite a very special haiku, perhaps the first special haiku, certainly the first poem that you ever recall being written for you. And so I would like you to make a performance check of that haiku with advantage. And I'm going to remind you that you have a special boon that comes into play
I
here.
do. Yes. Ooh.
Okay, so that's an 11 on the die.
11.
But you get to add something, I believe, because of your boon.
Yeah, where I wrote it.
It's under your feet.
So, yeah, under my feet, I know. Yeah, Heart of the Poet. If you already have proficiency.
So it adds your proficiency
So yeah, my
bonus,
proficiency. Yep.
which I believe is
It
a
is 4. So 15.
okay. You add, or you give this to the ritual, and you recite it from a place deep in whatever equivalent you have of a heart, that being of that idea of self and soul that you know is connected to Grrrig. And to Grrrig, you offer this, and you place the friendship bracelet on their body, and the golden energy that Spoot is suffusing into this dome flows into that bracelet, and the colors pop and become vibrant, and the bracelet itself seems to glow. Time goes on, the ritual continues. Spoot, it is time once again.
I'll move next to Olive.
Olive is going to dig in her bag and pull out pieces of various things we have defeated. I've got a dragon tooth and a scale of Poka and a periton feather. And then I've got some really terrible incense and some orcish spices.
I knew the incense was coming out. I knew you were gonna go.
I'm going to take out all of those things and say, and yeah, and also the armor she is wearing, that's the bulette skin, and say, Grrrig, we've been on many adventures, and we have killed all these fabulous, fantastical creatures, and we need your help to keep doing that. If we're going to keep finding the things we are looking for and all that good stuff. And so these are, just some of the things we've been collecting from creatures we have fought, and we need your help to keep doing that.
Okay. Go ahead, Olive. Make a persuasion check with advantage, because you harped on collecting, which is something Grrrig likes.
15.
Okay. The objects you have placed around Grrrig, the pieces of defeated creatures, take on that luminescence from Spoot's energies as they slowly become infused and begin to not glow or shine, but they look as though they did when they were still attached to the live creatures. They look fresh and revitalized.
Spoot raises dead on the creature objects.
on the boulette, and suddenly this giant cacophony of a thing.
Yeah, not Grrrig.
He
Now's the
he
time.
reads one book about homunculi, and here we are.
Come, Defect, join me.
Yes.
I feel like this would be particularly uncomfortable as I'm currently wearing the bulette skin.
So,
You were.
the objects that you've placed around are the ones that glow. Spoot, you feel that energy beginning to come to a climax. You're channeling. You know you need something final to put this spell through as you approach the hour.
I turn to Nereus finally and I say, I know you have just joined us, but is there anything you would like to offer?
I'm gonna look at Grrrig. We got some really nice jewelry off this skeleton, and I know you're hiding things in this bag. If you come back, I'll give you the jewelry, and you can have your bag back. Otherwise, I can't wait to find out what you've been hiding here.
Ah.
And all your things are going to be mine.
Is this intimidation?
Right? What
I
is
don't
this?
know. I'm a little concerned.
Threatening?
I would
Greg?
like Nereus. I would like you to make
Persuading
an.
her them to come back.
Nereus, I would like
I
you.
challenge you.
That's not persuasion. That is decidedly
I think it's
intimidation.
giving valid reasons to come back.
It's a little tongue in cheek, right?
I mean,
Listen,
we
I'm playing
did.
on-
The last thing
I'm
that
playing
happened
on
before we
Griggs.
fought this was me being
is.
like, "I'll beat you up," and you saying,
It's-
"Well, I'll dispel the magic," and I'll say, "No, you can't do that many times." So
They're like siblings already.
Yeah, you do have a kind of fun frenemy relationship with Grrrig. So, go ahead, make a straight persuasion check. The DC does increase because Olive has already made one.
Okay.
And know that,
I mean, I could do this. I mean, would that be
and just know that
intimidation?
you cannot use your sorcery point rerolls for this.
Okay. I mean, would that be intimidation, though? I mean, to be honest, it was kind of...
The way you were saying it, it sounded like it was intimidation.
Can I just do intimidation, then?
I will allow you
feel
to
like-
make an intimidation roll,
Okay.
trying
I'm not-
to scare them into returning.
Give it a
Like,
shot.
my kid eat their vegetables. I'm gonna eat your food.
16.
The words that you say to Grrrig seem to take some kind of a physicality to them as the sound waves you emit enter the green dome, and you see not necessarily like the words written out, but the feeling of the words begin to take on an amorphous kind of shape, and wrap itself around Grigg's body. But the energy does not change or go sour. It seems to be in harmony with that energy.
Just like dangling the jewelry above Greg.
Yeah, very, very much so. Cool. Pardon me. All right. The time has come. The ritual culminates. You have all given your all. Spoot, you have acted as this conduit. Your other three companions have given of themselves to bring forth this ritual and hopefully return Grigg's spirit to their body. Okay. Grrrig.
That's me, sort of, for now.
The shadows are constantly washing over you, taking on these forms, these enemies that you've defeated coming back at you to haunt you, these enemies that have killed you, that have almost killed you, that have made your life hell. Your father and brother destroying your precious things that you've created early on, tearing your books apart, being mauled by vampires, being bit, being torn apart by creatures, being stabbed by spiny tentacles, all of it over and over again. And before each cycle resets, locking eyes with Spoot as you are swallowed in essence by this horrible Shadow Walker creature. It's been hours, days, years, millennia, over and over again. Did your friends forget about you? You heard Spoot call once, but you haven't heard him again. And that's not how it should be. You locked eyes with him. And then you hear something. A haiku in the voice of your best friend. You bodilessly turn towards that sound. And you see the shadows begin to take shapes of things that you have collected over the years, over time. And the various trophies you've taken from fallen creatures. And you feel a challenge be issued to you. A challenge that you know if you head towards, you can face. And you feel the calming warmth and voice of Spoot speak to you. And unlike last time, where you couldn't find your path, with all 3 of these successfully given components to this ritual, if you choose Grrrig, you can follow the path back to Spoot, to Defect, and the rest of your friends. Do you go? Or do you stay?
You had me at the haiku.
Aww.
Yes.
The rest of you...
Also, that's my stuff. And wait, you had those? I have other ones. Have you seen mine?
Grrrig immediately begins talking as they sit up, exhausted, but automatically questioning about their stuff.
Where's my stuff? I have to show Olive. Also, I love you.
As you sit up, the necklace hits you in the eye that was dangling above your face.
No, I just grab it.
Oh.
You have successfully returned to life, Grrrig. You are under the conditions of the Raise Dead spell. You have a -4 to your attack rolls, ability checks that will go down, and saving throws that will go down by 1 for each long rest. But you have 1 hit point.
Great.
Here's a
That's
good
me.
berry.
In case you're hungry.
Right, in case I'm hungry.
Well, I guess since you're back, you can have your bag.
Yes, it's mine. Wait,
Here's-
it's not on me? Where is it? Who has that? That was
Well,
you?
I had to
Wait,
take
that
the
was
dead.
real? Wait,
I
is
had
that
to
what
take
happened?
the things off the dead person. So
Off the dead person?
here's your
You
bag.
talked to a dead person? Where?
You missed the dead person, Grrrig.
I
It
missed
was
the
so
dead
cool.
person?
I touched a button, and this
Wait,
thing
you-
opened up, and a throne came out, and it had a dead body on it. There was a dragonborn.
Okay.
And then
Also,
Boot
giant
spoke to
dragon.
him, and then I took all the shiny things off of him and put them in your bag. I'm keeping the crown though, because it looks good on me and it matches my robes.
What? No. The ink. What? Why are
No,
you keeping
the metal on the crown matches my robes, and you can have the
wait.
necklace and the brooch. Here you go.
What? Okay.
There are people looking for that crown. You might
It's
not
on my
want to.
head.
Wait, isn't that the magic one? The one with the shard that we're trying to fragment,
Yeah.
whatever it's called?
Except the metal matches my robes, and so it's there now.
Ow. That's not... I mean, okay.
That's how
I guess I'm wearing
magic
one,
works.
so I guess you can wear one. That's not how magic works. I'm not
That's how-
stupid. You're
That's
stupid.
how magic works.
No.
Did you take one of the bones from the dead thing?
No,
No, not
It's
even the little
just- he-
phalanges?
he's just I didn't want to touch the body because I didn't know if there was like a curse, because
Okay.
there was a giant shadow creature.
Oh, what was that shadow thing? Did you kill it? Who killed it?
We did.
Oh,
I
we
think
killed it.
Is it
I
like
think
really
Spook,
dead?
Spook killed it.
How did it die? I need to know.
It
I think
was
Spook-
pretty.
Yeah, Spook killed it, yeah.
Killed it?
Yeah.
But
Totally
Hey,
you're
killed it.
really good at killing.
Well, you and I were hiding in the other room.
Spook
I mean, I
just
was
like
dead,
laughs and
so-
hangs his head at the same time, like, I'm glad Grig's back.
Wait, where
Hey-
are we? Why are we
Hey,
in
Greg,
here?
look at all these books.
It's a giant dragon library.
It's a dragon
Dragonborn.
like a library of dragons.
No,
No,
Are
it's
there
it's a
dragons in
Dragon Ball, and they have
Did you kill
a
another
collection of
dragon?
knowledge.
How
No,
long was I out?
years. You've been gone years.
I mean, it definitely felt like it. It was a little weird. Do I remember the whole thing, actually?
Yes, you remember everything that happened. And, Spoot, when Grrrig awoke, they are themselves again. But there's a streak of gray in their hair now.
Wait, does Grrrig have hair?
Scraggly, merfny beefy beeps.
Spoot's like realizing two things. Grrrig has hair.
Yeah, like
Some of it's gray.
like one of the tufts that was not gray previously is now like gray.
Oh, Spoot just sort of
Ooh, did
gives
my
that a
owl? Sorry.
puzzled look. Doesn't say anything.
Owl's gone.
Grrrig, if I may, and then I'm going to touch Grrrig and cast Cure Wounds as a 4th level spell.
Oh yeah, thanks. That's useful. Also, whoa, that was really useful.
I haven't been using upcasting near as much as I should have.
Hey, also, has anyone ever? Well, I mean, okay. So here's the thing. It wasn't science, but I'm gonna tell you. So it's oh no, the book. Did anyone talk to the book?
Oh,
Is that
No,
gonna be a
but-
problem?
You died. Does that break your
You
pact?
were already
I don't
dead.
know. I better talk to the book. I don't really
You-
want to die to a book after
You-
being not deaded after a shadow thing. Sorry, my brain's a little bit. It's going fast, but a little confused. I don't know what word I just said.
I think you should probably talk to the book, just in case.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to the book. And
And
wherever
then we'll
Defect
catch you up
is,
on everything.
Grrrig scampers over to be as close to Defect as humanly possible with having the book open and talks to the book.
You talk to the book, and it goes as it normally does. It seems like however long you were gone, if you were only gone a little bit, it doesn't seem like that was an issue.
Yeah.
You remember the first time that you wrote in this book? Like multiple days had passed, and you hadn't written anything in the book.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's when you started to feel like a burning, itching, gnawing sensation.
Right.
So
But there's also no sensation of like, it is glad I'm writing, but it's not like, yeah, okay.
it seems to
Nothing.
be impassive. It takes
Great.
down what you say to it.
It's a
Okay.
book.
Well, yeah, I'll narrate to the book, and every once in a while, I'll just like do a weird little glance up, shifty eyes.
Yep.
Cause, yeah, I remember being dead.
You
What
do.
does science have to say about that?
And it
I would love-
it felt, and like you experienced an indeterminate amount of time, regardless of how much your friends say have passed. Like,
Yeah.
So-
Spoot would love to talk to Grrrig about that, but perhaps when Grrrig is ready. Being very careful not to like bombard them with.
Well, Grrrig is deep in their book. I have a question, everybody. Do we want to
Yes.
leave? Are we ready to leave?
What are we gonna do about the books? Grrrig says. After
I-
while talking to the book.
I feel like we should have let Spoot's friend Theta, and then didn't you guys say that you talked to some elves and sold some things to the elves at some point?
Well, the book is telling the
I mean, I'm
elves.
telling the elf right now, kind of.
Does it go directly to him immediately, or do you have to give him the whole book?
Well, that's a good question. Amber doesn't remember.
I really
Well,
should have
Spoot,
cast.
you have your messaging thing. Maybe you can just let somebody know that this giant vault of knowledge is here.
I
But
just
how
sent
do
it
we-
out.
how do
Send a
people get
mass
here?
tweet.
'Cause
Yes,
there's, like,
there
stuff
you go.
Mass.
Mass sending.
If only.
A
that
cat.
would
It's a
be
6
better.
level spell. It's pretty cool. Santasha's cauldron of nothing. I should have sent it last night if I was smart, but to be honest, I was so preoccupied on getting Grrrig back.
No, that's fair. But like, Jared, can we get the world map?
Absolutely.
Spoot, where's your giant atlas that I bought you?
What, me?
What?
Spoot. The
Oh,
big book
Spoot.
I got you, the atlas of the current.
Oh, here, let me see here. So Spoot goes back somewhere behind a shell and pulls it out. It can also Spoot take the 4 books that Spoot found.
Yeah.
And be very careful with them. Maybe they go in the bag of holding for preservation's sake.
Yep. You can totally do that.
Awesome. I think we should go back to Mutclo, and I will happily send Seda Malor a message stating that we found a secret cache of immeasurable knowledge.
Well, here's my suggestion. I have a couple of ideas. One,
You said you had a couple. Now you have one? Sorry.
Cute.
to start, there's, if I remember what you guys said correctly, in the, like zoom in on the mountains, there was something in the barricades mountains. However, since those dark nights were in that direction, and Bodo was, in Valteria, I'm assuming that one might be gone. However, I remember you guys said something about Soulmount had a possible shard. What's that one called? What's this outer opping? Jared, this one?
The outcropping.
Outcropping. I think you guys said there's one there, and then there was one at the Crucible. No?
That does sound right, yeah.
What are we looking at? Where things are?
The places
Yeah, the
of the
next
known.
shard locations. It was Soulmount, the Outcroppings, the Crucible, and Jared, did you say Laurentian had one possible?
That is what.
Or the elf?
That is what the elf
Garden
said at one point. Yeah.
Okay. And I have one other question associated with
Wait.
Teleportation Circle.
Hmm?
It says when you learn the spell, you gain knowledge of 2 circles.
Yes.
And when we spoke, I only had gained the one in Soul when I originally had the spell. Would I have known one in Laurentian?
Probably not, given your history there.
Okay. I just didn't know if I would have had knowledge of one in my home, just because it says I gained 2, but I had only gained 1.
That is fair. So go ahead, roll a d100. On a 75 or 76 or higher, you know a teleportation circle to Laurentian. Anything lower than that,
It'd be random.
And it will be someplace random.
Okay.
That
All right.
that it will be someplace random that you know the teleportation circle for, but you have never used it, so you don't actually know where it goes.
Okay. All right, no whammies. Ah, so close.
That was really close.
Almost.
I know.
All right. So just mark down that you have one random teleportation circle.
Okay.
Someday when we're feeling
Well, that'd be a downtime activity. For science.
Are we done?
Yeah, but
Where are we going? Where are we going?
That's where we're trying to discuss.
Like,
So I said the next shards we spoke were in Soulmount, the Outcropping, and then there was one up in, or the elf said there was one in
beyond the way.
Laurentian, and then there's one up in the Crucible.
And then there's something on a glacier up in the White Wave.
Yeah, up in the glacier. I'm assuming since Bodo was in Bartaria and the knights were in the Elms, I'm guessing these ones are probably, or these 2 are out of possibility, or this one at least. This one's out.
mm-hmm.
So that's why I was trying to think, because if we want to do Soulmount and try that one, although that one's really close to Fae Harbor, so I don't know.
Do we bop to Fae Harbor and continue from there?
Right. But the thing is, Soul Mount is very close to Fey Harbor, so I don't know if that was like the first one they hit. Or if the outcropping.
This is assuming they have the same information we have about their location. I mean, it's likely, but
Right.
You do also know that Bodo, or most of you do anyway, that Bodo had previously stolen one of these artifacts from someone.
Right.
He stole
So, I mean,
the wizard
Should we know which
Fluxus's ring. I will remind you. all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The what? The ring?
He stole the ring
from Wizard
Fluxus.
Fluxus.
Oh, right,
who
from Fluxus.
was our pal who has our red shard right now.
Oh, Amber, do you want to contact him since we haven't spoken to him in like
Oh yeah, I can
God
do
knows
that.
when?
Hey, hey,
Yeah.
are you alive? I just died, so now I'm worried that you might have, because time's passed. Did you know you could remember being dead?
And that's the end.
Oh.
You get back. Well, I guess that's why you didn't answer me yesterday. Glad you're not dead. I have something for you. Wink. And that's the end.
Wink? How do you send a wink?
Wait, we have a.
He
we
said
have
the
a
word
final-
wink.
I love him.
We can go there.
We have the thing
Let
for
us go
there,
to
right?
there.
Yes, right? We still have a thing for there.
Yeah,
still
I
have-
think
He still has Adis's blood.
I
Yeah,
believe so.
we
Cool.
did that.
I know we have one in Fey Harbor, and I think that's
Yes.
where the other one was.
Yes, the
I
other
think-
one is in Fluxus's.
Yes. So we
Okay.
could go there. Olive is happy to open the portal to wherever, but Sarah has to go.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
no.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for being here.
Have fun.
Thanks for bringing me back to life.
Yeah, I'm glad you're back to life. Yeah, I'm walking over to see, but I think I have to go.
So Spoot
So-
has a problem.
But Olive has the latch blade and is willing to use it for wherever we need it.
Cool.
Perfect.
Okay.
Spoot
Where-
did kind of promise his family he would see them again after.
And I will also remind you that you have a lead on an ancient dragon that has some acid you might need
Yeah.
in the fairly close vicinity.
Yes.
But
So
we
the
have
choices
stuff.
are yours. You have many modes of transit. So
Spoot
Yeah.
votes. We go back to Mucklow.
Yeah, I guess we take care of what's here
Yeah.
because, if Fluxus is alive now, we can just check on him more often and then we can, keep winking and then we'll show up there.
Well, Spoot, how long are you planning to visit Mucklow? Did you want to spend the night there? I'm
I
assuming.
was kind of hoping to take the next couple of weeks off, and no, just the night is fine. It just to return
I will
back, kind
leave
of
you
touch
here.
base. Just kind of touch
then-
base, recoup, and then
Maybe we can, if we're planning to spend the night there, maybe we can just have Olive open a portal to Fluxus for now, and we can get said item. And then
It
we
only
can
lasts
pay.
a minute.
I know he can just. If Spook can send him a message, he can wait, for the door to open, and he can just throw it through or something.
does the messaging that Grrrig uses is only once per day?
yeah, it's a once per day sending stone.
Great. Okay, so let's prepare a message for Fluxus.
We're opening a portal by the blood vial. Be ready to hand off the item.
Well, I
But what
should
if
warn him.
Fluxus wants us to visit and talk more? It has to
We
tell
can
us how
we
to
can
use
visit
it.
him. We can visit him later. I mean, assuming we're going up further north towards other places, I'm guessing that he might be closer than Fey Harbor.
And so in the message, I'll say, we don't have time for a visit. Can we open a portal to accept the item?
Sure.
Wink.
So so
Miley.
you send the message.
And I'll say, Grrrig winks at the end of my message.
Fair enough.
Wait, but maybe we
Oh,
can also
right.
hand him the gauntlet because none of us can use it.
Sure.
He can make something else.
Give me 5 minutes. But then it... Come on by.
There was something odd in the tone. Insight check.
Sure, make an insight check.
I don't even know where it is anymore. What's the alphabet? Oh, that was lame.
With a 14, Spoot, he just sounded like he was like, "Oh, okay." Like, oh, he was.
It's trying to determine if he's flirting with Grrrig.
What?
What's all this wink business? I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Dude is
Just
such
kidding.
an old man.
Okay, so he said to give him 5 minutes. So if you want to get the gauntlet ready, I suppose we could pass that off before the portal closes.
Because I mean, none of us can use the gauntlet, so maybe Fluxus can make something we can actually use.
Like a crown. Just kidding.
More crowns?
We've all got
I
crowns.
figure Greg would want one. Although we do have the Crown of
Oh
Concentration.
my god, what if all of us got crowns?
We actually do have the concentration one nobody's put on yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Olive.
So about 5 minutes goes by.
All right, it's
Open
portal
the-
time.
Open the portal, Crunk!
Okay,
Yeah.
we have to tell him what the thing is though.
I'm sure
Ol-
Fluxus has.
Olive stabs the air and uses the thing because Sarah said that Olive would be amenable to that. And a shimmering 10-foot square portal appears, and you see the familiar, much more restored and less battle damaged study, that kind of circular study with the little down-looking circle balcony thing of Fluxus's tower. And he's holding a box. It's a fairly large box. He's like, "Oh, that's very disturbing." But
Is
I
this
guess,
the first time we've done that?
but I guess so is this. And he holds up the blood vial as well. Here's your gift. It was a real pleasure to work on. I have never been able to enchant something like this before. Sorry it took so long, but I had to get special reagents, and it took
Okay,
a lot of
Fluxus,
time.
this lasts only a minute, so hold on. Here, let me
Oh.
take that.
Do we
of
owe
course.
you money?
No, I'm gonna.
Well, no,
I'm
my
gonna
payment
throw-
was to do to be able to work with the shard.
Hold on, we
fragment.
don't have time for this. I'm gonna throw Fluxus the gauntlet.
Oh!
It's really cool.
What is
It's very
this?
scary.
Oh God!
Also, another piece of shard. Please be careful. Don't get murdered. And call me if you have any trouble.
Oh, okay. Am I keeping this? And he holds up the blood vial, and the portal
Yes.
closes.
No, I said I grabbed that.
Oh, you grabbed the blood vial.
Blood vial?
No.
Wow.
So
Jesus.
you
Oh no,
gr-
not the blood vial. I thought you were holding. I thought he was holding up the item. I heard blood.
No,
and then-
No, we took
that's
the
all.
item. He keeps the blood.
No,
Oh, okay.
he had a box and the blood vial.
Oh no, oh sorry. I meant the item, whatever the box.
All right,
'cause it
roll
was
for
called the
initiative,
blood card.
Nereus. Roll
So
for
all I heard
initiative.
was blood.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So you've got this box. He's got the blood vial, and you threw the gauntlet at him, and he's like, "Oh!" So whoever has the gauntlet in their inventory, please remove it. It is now left play.
I think it was in Grig's bags
Yeah, I'm
because
looking.
no one could use it.
Sorted bits.
Well, any of you
photos,
could have
component
used it.
pouch.
None of you wanted to.
None of us are punchy people.
Hey,
I don't remember it. I
Actually,
don't have it written down.
Gauntlet of Valruga. Someone had it.
in hindsight, I probably could have stuck that on because I can make claw attacks to some effect without a weapon, and that might have.
Well, anyway.
Oh, but it's
if
not
nobody has
bludgeoning.
it,
It's
doesn't matter.
claws slashing. That's why I didn't grab it, because it's a bludgeoning gauntlet
Specifically
thing.
bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool, very cool.
I'm still picturing Nereus just holding the blood vial like, I got it, guys.
Listen,
I'm
all I
really
heard was
like,
blood, and I was like,
talk to
"No, give me
him.
the item."
No, you should probably
grabby.
It's
tell
funny.
him what's going on. Maybe.
Who?
Fluxus.
Oh, sorry, that was that pesky owl.
Oh, get out of here.
Dork.
Who? Wait, so Greg, open the box.
Okay, I'm opening the box. Give me a second.
I think the last time we saw this shard was like a year ago.
Yeah.
Yes. A long time ago.
Uh,
It's just the red gem from Badiv's mouth.
Yeah.
It was indeed just that.
It's in his face orifice.
There's multiple face orifices.
No, it wasn't in an orifice, was it? It was
No,
in
the
his
mouth is
tongue,
an orifice.
but it was in his tongue, right?
Yeah, that's in
I
an
guess
orifice.
it's still in the orifice. Yeah, you're right.
But you have multiple face orifices, so you'd have to specify.
Where is it?
Stop with your words.
Where is the mouth orifice?
Yes, where is the mouth orifice? Oh, that's what it was called. I just had to remember what it was called. Cool. So, you open the box, and inside, there's a little note. And in a very elegant hand, it says, "Enjoy. I call it Pulse. Fluxus."
That seems on brand. I don't know what his brand is, but it seems on brand.
I mean, he's
So-
the guy that made the raccoon, isn't he?
What you?
No, just like Fluxus and Pulse. Seems,
Oh,
I don't know.
Fair.
it seems like a brand.
Yeah. So, what you see appears to be a like big heavy collar. Made from like a delicate pale leather. Like it's thick and chunky, but the leather itself is pale and very like delicate looking.
It's human skin.
And it seems like it has platinum like settings, and there's multiple red gems, but you can see that the fragment, the red fragment that you took from Badiv's tongue, is set in the center, like inside of one of the roundels. There's like 5 roundels, and inside of one is the fragment, and the other 4 are just roundels that have nothing embedded in them. And it's kind of like a gray, pale leather, like a.
That's
what it looks like.
pretty.
Should I be casting
what's it do?
Identify?
Yeah, do the thing. What does it do? It's red. I like red things.
It seems like it'd go good for you, Greg.
Just be covered in stuff. Red necklace, a big shiny brooch, giant green belt.
Giant cloak. It's actually a blanket.
Do you cast
Yeah.
Identify on it?
Yeah, we don't have time for this, so let me cast it as a spell.
Cool. Fantastic. So, Spoot. This is what you learn. It is indeed identified as Pulse. Let me do this.
So this thing has a name.
Yeah. I'm just putting it into your journal here.
I can't get comfortable tonight.
So if you look at your journal, you will see Pulse. And you can use in your journal on roll 20.
Ooh, I see a picture.
I don't see
Oh, I
it.
don't see any. I want to see.
Oh, there's some text, but it's like, let me copy paste because it's gray on black.
Oh,
Okay.
because are you using dark mode? Yeah, that's why.
Oh, yeah, but it's the only way. Anyway, this heavy cut.
It is. I can fix that. Hold on.
I'll describe. Well, that's fine. I'll describe what it is by reading it out loud, and then pretend that Swoot said it.
There you go.
Thank you. Oh, that looks nice. This heavy collar appears to be fashioned from a delicate pale leather and platinum. Have you already said all this and I'm just repeating?
Yeah.
This item has 3 charges. Any expended charges reset after a long rest. And it gives you proficiency in the medicine skill. It requires attunement.
Nice.
While attuned, you may use a bonus action to expend a charge to cast the spell Healing Word as a first level spell without using a spell slot. Using Wisdom as your spellcasting ability. Additionally, you may expend multiple charges to increase the spell's level. That's
Oh, that sounds like it uses wisdom, so it's a spoot item. Or Sarah.
Well,
What's your wisdom?
we'll
mine?
find out soon.
I mean,
No,
anyone
Grrrig.
can use it.
50
It
eyes.
just-
Anyone can use it. It's
Yeah.
Healing Word.
Correct. Which, well, I have 2 thoughts. This is like this would be useful because then I don't have to prepare that and that frees up something else. Or B, we could give it to someone who doesn't have it. But I do agree, since Healing Word is such a, I don't want to say weak, but like, you know, it gives you little bits of healing, so a higher wisdom is going to make it more useful.
And I mean,
Nereus,
I think Sarah, Olive and Spoot are the only 2 without a shard item so far.
Nereus, you've been wearing the crown for a while, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks great.
It does look great, actually. Carry on.
Actually.
I just had to check something. I just had to check that you had been wearing it.
Nereus's head explodes.
Poof.
I mean, good thing Nereus got Grrrig back before his head exploded.
Spoot's like, I can't heal that.
There's specifically something in Raised Dead that's like, it auto fails if you're missing a head.
Well, you
Literally.
can't grow body parts back.
Right. It's
Yeah.
like if you're missing a body part that is necessary to live,
Yeah.
it don't work.
Oh wait, that's resurrection that does it grows it back.
Yeah.
I was like, don't they grow it back? That one.
One day. Okay.
Nereus, as you are talking about this, the gem in the crown you are wearing glows as the attunement sticks in,
Oh.
and your mind is rushed with a wave of adrenaline. Please reload your character sheet and check your attunement slots.
Shit.
You're now a snail.
I'm actually a flying book.
Grrrig was ADD.
Attunement slot. Where's out inventory? Oh. Crown of. Where's my glasses? Hold on. I can't read shit.
Oh, you look so
All
cute
right.
in your glasses.
Crown of Fallen Imperials Awakened. This sleek crown is fashioned out of strange blue metal with an amber crystal set in front. You must be wearing this crown to gain any of its effects. While wearing this crown, you feel your mind expand and consider new opportunities and ideas. While you are attuned to this item, you may use an action to cast telepathic bond spell twice per long rest without expending a spell slot. And the dominate person spell, once per long rest using your DC without using a slot. Additionally, you gain advantage on intelligence saving throws while wearing the crown and the proficiency in the arcana and history skills if you do not have it. And Mind Palace. When attempting to remember a detail you have forgotten, to put together the clues of a mystery or some similar activity, you may use this feature to gain insight into the solution. The DM decides the form of insight. Once you use this feature, it cannot be used again for 1 week. That's a pretty crown, too.
It is quite pretty.
Yeah. Never mind. Doesn't matter now. I was like, isn't that the thing we were going to identify originally?
Yeah, and I just put it on because you decide to get Grrrig up and so I just put it on my head.
Yep. You can all take a look at this very nice crown with the glowing amber crystal, and yeah, it's quite fun.
Ooh la la.
So this is now adorning the head of Nereus.
How does it look, guys? I feel so smart now.
Yeah, well, don't let it go to your head.
So as you were talking about Pulse, Nereus got a brain scan.
Yeah, right there. What happened, Nereus? You just got a little fuzzy looking in your face.
I. Oh, I forgot about that spell.
Telepathic bond? Is there more?
Yeah.
So you read
No.
more, but I don't see more.
Telepathic bond. Oh, it was just the mind palace thing. That was extra at the bottom. I don't know if I was supposed to see that one, Jared.
Yep, it is an ability of the crown.
Okay. But telepathic bond, you forge a telepathic link among up to 8 willing creatures of your choice within range, physically linking each creature to all others for the duration.
Psychically, not physically.
Sorry, psychically.
Physically linking 8 creatures together. It's a humanoid centipede. It's terrifying.
No.
I'm not willing. I'm not consent. I do
Alright.
not consent.
Until the spell ends, the targets can communicate telepathically through the bond, whether or not they have a common language. The communication is possible over any distance, though cannot extend over other planes.
F yes.
That's cool. And your intelligence is your.
Intelligence is not my.
What am I
It uses my normal saving throw.
What is your primary stat? I don't even know.
Charisma.
Oh, of course.
Right.
But as a result of this item, you do now have advantage on intelligence saving throws while you wear it.
I do, which is nice because I have only a +1.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Sweet.
Cool.
Um,
So Nereus now has that item. And you see this collar in a box.
It's an action or it's a bonus action because it's healing word.
bonus.
It's a bonus action because it's healing word, yeah.
Right. I just because it could be an action to activate the item. But...
Nope.
Cool.
It's a bonus action to expend the charge, and the charge is what casts the spell as it would normally be cast. So it pretty much gives someone an extra, either like single 3rd level casting of healing word or 3 1 levels or whatever combination.
Well, I mean, we can think more about it if we want. I have a bonus action that does stuff, but it takes an action to turn it on. I really like red, and I can't do healing word, but, it's fine. It's less murdery than I thought it would be.
You specifically asked him to design something that was like more into the healing and beneficial side of things.
Yeah, I know. I just, murder. What?
I mean, I feel like it'd be good for Spoot just because it is like medicine-y and healing and uses wisdom, or Sarah just because it's like.
Honestly, I totally forgot about the Crown of Concentration, and perhaps that could be.
I mean, both you and Sarah both have a lot of concentration spells. That would also be.
Yeah.
And
so I'd say
bonus action is things like whack-a-mole. Whereas we can talk about Sarah's olives. They're less
Yeah, I mean, we could throw it in the Discord chat later.
It's gonna take.
It is.
Anyway. Yeah.
It is at least 3 free castings though of a spell that is useful to you all.
Yeah.
No, it's
I
absolutely useful.
honestly though, I don't know why I forgot about Chronic. I would have to ask Sarah what her concentration ones are, because I'd have a couple that would make sense if I could cast them in tandem.
Well, remember, you can attune to 3 items at a time, so like it's not like it's one or nothing.
True. I'm currently
Yeah.
on the baton. I think is the only one.
Yeah.
I don't think
we
Sarah
should-
has any magic items. Oh wait, no, she has the Packmaster's Talisman.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, she's got a few things. She's got the Lashblade and the Pack Hunter Talisman.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. And I'm attuned up, I just noticed. Why? Oh, the Boots of the Quick Link, that's why.
Oh, you never use those.
No, I know. I've played with them and then I haven't used them. I gotta start using those.
And yeah, Spoot, you only have one thing that you are attuned to and 2 open slots. So theoretically, you could tune to both the crown and the collar.
Yeah, I totally forgot about the crown like a fool. But I do think that I have been thinking for some time. It's like, man, it'd be really nice if I could do these 2 concentration spells together, especially after talking about things like what am I trying to say? Utility things. So yeah, we can put this in the chat, but
Well,
that might
Spoot,
be-
now's the time. Do you want to attune? Do you want to take and attune to these items? The group seems to be amenable, unless I'm misreading the crowd here.
No, I mean, I'm all attuned up, so I can't fit anything else. And I was just like, between the Chronic Concentration and the Healing one, like they both would be a good fit for both either Spoot or Olive, so I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
And just because you start with one doesn't mean like you can't trade or get rid of it or give it to Olive before a certain day or something.
Why don't we say? I mean, Olive is not present to cast their vote, so why don't we say for now, Spoot attunes to those 2 items, and then if we need to divvy them out,
Great.
or at least puts them on.
Cool.
Maybe I should give the Shield of Insults over to the Magic Man and see if he can make it into something less evil.
Here, put that evil shard into this evil shield and make it good.
Yeah, that is how that works.
Because 2 wrongs make a right, correct?
So you all hang out here for a couple of more hours while Spoot, you work on attuning to these items. And if you will reload your character sheet and check your attunement slots, you will find 2 brand new items in your sheet.
Awesome. I tried to add Pulse, but I was like, I don't know how to add it as a wearable thing.
I took care of it for you. Because I'm nice like that.
Whoa. I've got 3 things.
Why don't you, since you shared what Pulse did originally, when Spoot, you have finished attuning to Pulse, the central red roundel that has the fragment embedded in it glows brightly and then flashes red through all the roundels, and you feel your powers bolstered. Feel free, if you would like to share what that does now.
Okay, so I'm reading the whole thing now. Proficiency in medicine skill. You gain resistance to necrotic damage.
Ooh.
While attuned, you may use the bonus action, blah, 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 to do the healing word. Using wisdom spellcasting ability. You can sort of upcast it, is what it sounds like. And then alternatively, you may expend all 5 charges as a bonus action to cast the spell Mass Healing Word without expending a spell slot, using wisdom as your spellcasting ability. That's pretty neat.
You might want to reread that that second thing about the upcasting.
Oh, additionally, you may expend multiple charges to increase the spell's level. When you use charges this way, you may add a +1 to the amount of hit points restored per charge.
So if you use 2 charges to cast it at a second level, then you would do an additional 1 hit point on top of it because
Okay.
you used another charge, so it's giving you more healing.
Very cool. I kind of like the whole like Hail Mary, use all 5 mass healing word option too.
Yeah. And,
I mean, it depends. It
and
all
the
depends
amount
on
of charges
situation.
increased. You have successfully awakened Pulse
Ooh.
because of your affinity for casting healing magic.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, because it was 3 when you hit identify.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah,
it
I just caught
did
that too
not
right when
have
you said
these
that.
abilities.
That's cool.
And you recall long ago when you first touched it while it was still attached to Badiv's tongue, the amount of potential that this shard has within it. And all the items that you've acquired like this, like Nereus just got blasted by one that had huge abilities. Defects had one for a while, but hasn't really used it, and it's good.
Never came up. Yeah.
But he's
It's
never
good.
really done anything with it. You get the sense that the more you use these things, the more powerful you become, the more skilled you become. They open up new possibilities for the wielder.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is very cool. I will share that little bit of info with the group. And then maybe we can find a way to best match them to the strengths of the user.
That's a good idea. For science, here, let's all trade. No, but seriously, you can have the green one. You're really strong, Defect.
It's true.
But I
You say so.
feel like some of that stuff Defect already does, no?
Yeah, but some of the stuff that Pulse already did, Food already does, but then it made it better.
You
Because
could
of
try
my,
that
You
and
can
get,
make
and
it
you
better
could try
and see
taking
what
the
happens.
magic nullification.
I mean, I don't mean to take the crown away from Nereus, but if it's intelligence based, for instance, we do have a pretty smart person in our party.
Yeah, goblins aren't stupid.
Yeah. But
This is worth exploring.
yeah. And not it amicably exploring.
Yeah, well, I mean, science.
For science.
Why don't we get back to the village first and not in a time capsule? And
Yeah. I think someone should pull the lever.
Defect.
I will pull the lever.
You hear the grinding and grating of stone and metal, and slowly the stones that form the steps and stairs descend. And you can...
Once we're safely out, Spoop will take the key, and he will lock it again. And maybe put the key on a chain, put the chain around his neck, hide the key in a shell.
All right. So you can note that you have the key to the Ozmag library.
Wait, do you close the door?
Close it behind us. I think that's the safest thing to do, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm going to add that to my inventory.
Yeah, totally. Fantastic. So,
Cool. We had...
Sorry?
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, my vote is to head to Mucklow.
Yeah, that's fine.
all right. So just remember, Grrrig, you have currently have reduced amount of hit points because you only got the healing word, and you had 1 when you came back, and you have a -4 to everything at the moment.
Well, Boot took if we took a couple more hours just to sit there because Boot was attuning.
Grrrig could have spent hit dice, yeah. So if you want to say that you did that, you can.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Cool.
Once we're back in Mucklow, I also have a spell I can cast on you, Grrrig, to maybe help speed up this healing process.
I mean, it did take multiple days to get out here, so by the time you get back, Grrrig should hopefully be.
Oh, true. I guess I should say by the end of today.
Yeah, and I've just healed myself fully with these excellent rolls. So
Oh yeah, those are good rolls.
yeah, insane. I'm at full.
Well,
Nice.
all right. Very cool.
In fact, I'm at 3 past full, but I can't do that.
Fantastic. So you all gather your gear. Grrrig, freshly restored to your company. Spoot, decked out in bling. Nereus, quite fancy, with a crown upon his head. And all of you step out into the swamp from whence you originated and begin the journey back to Mucklow, trudging through the watery, mucky, raised walkways and broken stone streets and dilapidated buildings and bridges that the central city of Ozmag, what remains of it, is composed of. You do not face any resistance in the forms of adverse skeletons or creatures as you exit the city proper. And around midday, you have left the quote-unquote lands boundaries of Ozmag and are once again traversing through the swamp. And as you step into the swamp, being led forward towards a home that Spoot knows and loves very well and very much, our camera pulls out and we see 5 little adventurers making their way towards the village of Turtlefolk. And that's where we will end tonight's session of Nuuli Forged, picking up upon the adventures next week. Here.
I'm not dead anymore for now.
Yeah, well done, everybody. Well done. You acquired loot. You retrieved a Grrrig. Fantastic job. Really, really swell. Really swell. Humdingers. Very cool. Awesome. Well, while that was a really great session. Thank you. I'm so glad we're back. It was I missed y'all. It was a lot of fun to do this again.
Yeah, it's nice to be
We
back.
missed you too.
Well, don't force yourself here, kid. All right.
Aw, it's been too long.
It was a good time. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you, I've Got It, for being here, for resubscribing. You are the favorite. You are the best mod on Twitch. I know we challenge you. Thank you to everyone who has watched us for 101 episodes, for 1 episode, for 12, for 13, for whatever, for 69. Hey, nice.
So many.
Especially to you people who have watched us for 69 episodes, because that's nice. We appreciate it. Whether you watch us here live or on a replay VOD or on YouTube, I appreciate it. I'm sure the rest of us do. It's just nice to share some D&D love, especially these days while we still can, before WotC's crap is attempted to pull. Who knows if it's even doable, but hey, the point is we love the game. We're here to play. So, before I keep yammering on, let's go ahead and go around and say our goodbyes, and I'll figure out who we gonna raid tonight.
Yambering, is that kind of what Grrrig does when they talk?
I will end you. Shut up.
Hey.
We're gonna start with the blingiest cleric in Nuuli. We're gonna start with Spoot.
Yo, Turtles, what's up? This is Matt playing Spoot, and I think Spoot's going to get really uncomfortable with all the bling he's got, especially if other party members don't have, so we'll have to hash that out. But yeah, thanks for watching. Glad to be back. Sorry it's been so long. Got real anxious about getting Grrrig back alive, so can sleep well tonight.
Very cool. And we'll pop up to Nereus.
Hi, I'm Tanner. I played Nereus the I'm so exhausted.
Whoops.
I played Nereus the ASMR Sorcerer. What am I doing? Have a good weekend, guys. I need to go to bed.
Fair enough. Hopping up then to Grrrig, the alive and returned Grrrig.
Yerp. I am still Grrrig. I'm also Amber, still. Imagine that. Thanks for joining. It is nice to be back after the break. Nice to return to a familiar character. I was getting all amped up and like, okay, I gotta imagine something else. It's very scary. I don't like it. Yeah, thanks for watching. Jared mentioned watching us on VOD. I don't like saying VOD. I don't know why. Because I see it in capital letters. So watching us on Twitch VOD. You can also find us on YouTube. Replays. It pops up on the Monday after we have played live. You can tell your friends. We are at Nuuli Forged. NUULIFORGED. In case you don't know how to spell. We are also on social media. Can you tell I'm out of practice? Okay, good. Also, sadly, I will not be joining next week for the triumphant return to Mucklow. I will be having a real life job where I have to be real life paying attention.
Ah, that's lame. Real life sucks.
I know. Sorry, telling the world. Well, it's sad. Brace yourselves. I'll make far fewer faces because I won't be here.
Well, all right, fair enough.
Okay, bye.
I'll make them for you.
And top of the
Leads up
stack,
to me,
we
right?
got Defect.
Hashtag.
Hashtag Refect still lives.
Such love.
My name's Mike. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll be here next week, so I'll see you then.
Cool. Thank you all again very much for watching. We're gonna raid 5% chance. They're playing some Dungeons and Dragons over there. Ooh, pardon me. Thank you so much. Go ahead, like, watch, subscribe, share us with your friends. If you think we're funny, if you think we're stupid, if you think we make good points, if you think we're cute, whatever you want. We're not going to tell you your reasons, but share us. We'd love to get some more followers and subscribers and all that Jim Jam stuff. I don't know. Whatever. Do the things. We'll see you right here next week.
Yammering on again.
Yeah. Let 5% chance know that they've been newly rated. So thanks, everyone. Have a good night. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.